take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift it. Let some dream just for a bit.
Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats. Holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This holiday, give the gift that celebrates every moment. An Omega watch from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Explore the largest Omega showroom in the area and discover timepieces crafted with Swiss precision and timeless design. Visit Bailey's today in Raleigh's Village District or online at baileybox.com. Voted best place to buy a watch.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Could be an isolated shower here or there, but it should be fairly dry with a high of 70 degrees. Overnight, upper 50s, so it's a warm one with a small chance for rain. And during the morning tomorrow, we'll have a few light showers. During the afternoon, we could see a quick line of thunderstorms. It's going to be a warm day, high of 77.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 663 points to 46,415.
Bryce in the pocket, steps up, eludes the rush, throws, end zone, caught, Adam Thielen, touchdown!
He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is third of the night.
Cooper faces up with 5 and 4, drives Davis, spins, waiting, fades away, and hits! Game over! Series over! Sebastian!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside Carter-Finley Stadium, where the NC State Wolfpack will be hosting Florida State in about 5 hours. It's a night game here at Carter-Finley. I'm out here, Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox here along with me. Back at the studio, we have Max Gorin keeping us up and running. As we get closer to the game and as the tailgates pick up, as always, we'd love to hear from you. You can stop by, say hi if you're making your way out to the game now. We encourage you to do so. We are directly between Carter-Finley and the Lenovo Center. So we're kind of right at the epicenter of quite a bit of sports going on here in the Triangle, and we have a good one for you. We have a great weekend of college and professional sports that does kind of kick off with some big-time football right here where we're seated. So let's start with just that on the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Florida State at NC State tonight at 8. We couldn't start anywhere else when we're sitting just a couple steps from Carter-Finley.
I mean, we're right here.
We're right here in the fan zone. NC State has been looking at the Wolfpack as a season-long kind of beast, right? They've taken everything into account. They have an argument for, and I don't say this like overly insulting, it just is what it is, maybe the most inconsistent team in the country. Right now, there are 3 teams. Hat tip to David Hale of ESPN for finding the stat. There are 3 teams in the entire country of FBS football that have 4 wins versus opponents that are 7-3 or better on the season. So 7-3 as a record or better. There are only 3 teams that have beaten 3 of them. Indiana, pretty much locked, loaded for a college football playoff spot. Alabama, of course, as long as things don't go too haywire for them, very good chance at the college football playoff. And NC State. Those are the only 3 teams in the country that have 4 wins over teams with a record of 7-3 or better. That's, first of all, impressive, but also, second of all, adds into the frustration of this season, which is they have some of the best wins in the country. They kind of, meaning State, they've kind of single-handedly kept some ACC teams out of the running for the CFP. When you think of their win over Virginia, their win over Georgia Tech, right? They've done some damage to some ACC resumes. But then on the other side, there's obviously the losses, right? There's the ones that you can't explain. There's the Virginia Tech loss. There's a couple blowouts where they really didn't look like themselves against, say, Pitt or Miami. So looking at this Florida State game tonight, Florida State's better than you think. There's some underlying stats that say their 5-5 record is not nearly indicative of how talented they are. They've outgained, as far as yardage, all but one of their opponents this year, and that includes their Miami game, which was a close loss. The only one that outgained them in a contest was Pitt, and their offense is pretty darn explosive. So Florida State's going to bring some juice, even though the record's not there. And if you're a State supporter, if you're a Wolfpack fan, you have to be wondering whether you're going to get good State or bad State. And bad, it might not even be the right word, but you know what I mean, hot or cold. When you're inconsistent, there's a top and a lower. Which one are you going to get?
I think it's fair to say good or bad.
Good or bad.
I think it's fair.
Except, bad is sometimes, I don't want to act like it's all encompassing, right? Sometimes the offense shows up, the defense doesn't. Sometimes the skill positions show up, the offensive line struggles, right? It's not entirely, you only need one thing to go bad for it all to look bad, I guess is what I was kind of reeling in there, backing up a little bit. But that's the question for me today. If you get the offense that showed up against Georgia Tech, I think you're going to be A-okay. If you get the offense that showed up against Miami, I think there's going to be a lot of really frustrated Wolfpack fans sitting right there in Carter-Finley. Like, that's what it is. And we really haven't seen much middle, right? There hasn't been just like a okay game for State. It's been a lot of one side of the spectrum or the other. Again, that game's right here, 8 o'clock, meaning right here where we're sitting at Carter-Finley Stadium. We're outside. 8 o'clock tonight, Florida State at NC State, little Friday night football in the ACC. That is also number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Canes play 2 this weekend. Tonight, 8 p.m., Canes, Winnipeg. By the way, you can get those first goal scorer predictions into us on Twitter or in our YouTube live stream comments. So on Twitter, at Donnelly Sports, I've already posted the tweet asking for first goal scorer predictions. You can let us know who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period that will be scored. You can also, as I said, jump in our 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream. In those comments, you can let us know the same 2 pieces of information. We're just testing how well you know Canes hockey. Looking at the game at Winnipeg, third game of a unusual road trip that kind of crisscrosses the country and Canada, obviously going up into Winnipeg. I look at this one in a few different ways. One of which, some emotional, little relationship, little reunion stuff going on. Nikolai Ehlers playing Winnipeg for the first time as a Cane at Winnipeg. Obviously means something there, right? There's previous relationships, friends, guys that he's gone to metaphorical battles with, and now he's walking in there in a different jersey. Also, it's Seth Jarvis's hometown. And while for some that I don't know if that means a ton, you can tell in every interaction Seth Jarvis has, whether it's the Amazon Face Off documentary series that he was a part of, whether it's any time in a team or media interview, Winnipeg comes up. He is somebody that is proud of where he comes from. His buddies drive from Winnipeg to every far reaches of the continent to support him in big moments. They're like big rent the van and go on the road trip guys. So having him up there in Winnipeg, he wants to show out, right? You heard so much about Jackson Blake having a whole bunch of friends and family in attendance for the Minnesota game. I assume Seth Jarvis, I don't know if he'll have quite as many, just because I think Jackson Blake had almost 100.
It was about 75, 80.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'll have the volume, but he'll have some people there that he wants to perform for. And, a little extra motivated Jarvis never hurt anybody, right? You get that guy with his skill set, putting the pedal to the floor a little bit more aggressively, that can really help him out.
It would not surprise me if he spent the night at his family's house last night.
Like
with his parents. I'm dead serious. I think because he basically lives there in the off season.
I was going to say, I wasn't laughing at your suggestion. I was laughing because, if you watch the Amazon series, that then he would have slept in a room with a 6-foot Sidney Crosby poster on the wall, which, very
life size,
very, very possible. This is funny. And then Buffalo on Sunday, 1 p.m., little afternoon special for the Carolina Hurricanes, which is appropriate because the Carolina Panthers play on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're a Panther Canes fans, of which I'm sure there's a bunch of fans that are both, you're used to sitting on your couch and watching a game Sunday at 1. Panthers vacate that spot for Monday Night Football. Canes move right up into the slot. So they can fill that part of your calendar admirably. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
While we are here outside where the Florida State NC State game is going to be played, there is other college football this weekend, including a little triangle versus triangle game, meaning Duke at UNC tomorrow at 3:30. A ton of bowl implications on this one, right? And State as well, 5-5, but they're obviously playing Florida State, so it's not as meaningful. Like there's an obvious side for bowl eligibility. Duke sitting at 5-5 right now. A win over UNC puts them in the bowl. A bowl. UNC 4-6 with their matchup against NC State to end the season. They need to win them both to be bowl eligible in Bill Belichick's first year running the show for the Tar Heels. In both cases, I think it means something. You're going to hear and read and listen to, if you consume sports media in a big way, you're going to be reading articles, think pieces. You're going to be listening to podcasts. You're going to be doing everything. And people are going to tell you that bowl games just don't matter. You're going to be talking to or listening to, right? The players opt out. The coaches are looking for their next job, on and on, right? If you're not in the CFP, it doesn't matter. I disagree. I think for some teams that's true. Right? I do. I think if you are a team that was started at 5-0, if you're a team that has spent the top end of NIL money and you don't make a bowl, it's a catastrophe. Right? If you are somebody that went in with high expectations, you don't make a bowl, it's a catastrophe. And then to build in all of those things that the anti-bowl people are going to say, right? The players don't care. Well, maybe they don't, but guess what it is? It's more practice. It's more practice. It's more opportunities to get better, right? Coaches used to say it's like another spring ball. You get another 15 practices leading into the bowl. But also, this is going to sound mean, right? Because everybody wants to spend time at home, spend time with family. It's the holidays. You get to keep players away from the little birdies in their ear that are back at home, from their high school coach that says there's an NIL deal, or from their friend that plays for another college that says, if you come here, we can get you X, Y, and Z. They're on campus. They're continuing to build the relationship. You want to keep them as much as you can away from the little birdies in the transfer portal that are, by the way, they're not under oath. Hey, come play for us. I'll get you $500,000. There's no guarantee on that. There's no follow through. It doesn't have to be. So keeping them on campus, keeping them in that bowl is a big deal. Duke can become bowl eligible against North Carolina this weekend. UNC would have to win against Duke and State next week to be bowl eligible. But in modern college football, it may not mean the same thing that it used to be bowl eligible. It still means something, and I still think it benefits your program in a huge way.
Well, I think also is Duke beat Wake. Duke so you know they get the state championships. They beat State as well. I mean, you can claim, hey, we're the best football team in the state of North Carolina. You can make that claim.
Mm-hmm.
Duke has that on the line as well.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, you want to recruit a player here? Guess what? You can actually win games at this place. We beat all those other schools. That stuff matters.
I've been in states where there's very obviously like one big fish in the pond, and that coach tries to build the fence around the state.
Oh yeah.
Here, there's a lot of fish in the pond.
Oh yeah.
Right. There's a lot. If somebody wants to stay close enough that grandma can come drive to watch his games, that he wants their college coach or high school coach to be able to coach on Friday and tailgate and watch their games on Saturday. It's not one option, right? If you want to play power conference football in the state of North Carolina. So little things like that matter, right? Who's winning? Who's putting the most players in the NFL? Who's having the coolest bowl experiences? Who's getting their kids the most NIL money? Each of those is their own little win that you can put in your conferences or your programs W column. So we'll see. You're exactly right on that. And state championship just sounds cool.
Yeah,
and get a ring. I know like youth sports, I get a ring for like finishing third in a regional tournament. I don't know if they're making the rings for everything in college, but I wouldn't be surprised if you walked into some of these college coaches' offices and they have 37 rings behind them and they haven't won a championship yet. Either way, that's the big 3 at 3 here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Got off track there a little bit. But we're going to get it back on track and talk some more hockey because it is a hockey night in Carolina. Canes aren't playing right to our right in the Lenovo Center. They're actually in Winnipeg. What are the keys to that game and a little bit of injury news coming from the Jets? Stick around.
The Black Friday sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, you could get 0% financing for 60 months on a new 2026 Ram 1500. Or even better, 0% for 72 months on a new 2025 Ram 1500. Or take advantage of 20% off any new Ram 1500 in stock. See dealer for details. In other words, it is time to get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
Bank of America is a nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. You'll hear me say this throughout the show. We are live outside Carter-Finley Stadium, the site for a ACC showdown between the hosting NC State Wolfpack and the visiting Florida State Seminoles. I don't want to say this one means more for me. But I do appreciate seeing Florida State lose since they sue the ACC and make it all about them and whine and complain about things that they just quite frankly, aren't true. So any chance I have to watch Florida State lose would be a glorious day for me. And by the way, I think a little bit of hate, a little bit of vitriol in a conference is good. Sometimes, the movie's only as good as the villain. So Florida State, I hope they do not become bowl eligible today. They're also sitting at 5-5.
It's okay to root against Florida State.
Florida State, and you know what, Clemson, and you know what, anyone else that has tried to uproot the ACC and bail for greener pastures because they think they're being held back by the conference, when in actuality, if you're not that good, you're not that good. If the conference is so bad, why aren't you winning it? Might be the best way to ask that question.
Exactly.
And Florida State is not. They are 5-5. They are not amongst the billion teams that are in the running to win the ACC.
Are they really
champion.
even 5-5?
5-5, I believe.
Surprised they're even that good.
But again, they've done some things statistically that say they should be better than 5-5.
Well,
they just don't have an it factor. One might say maybe karma is working against them. Maybe you don't sue your conference with no grounds.
Hey, don't
Either way,
suck.
Either way, that's happening right over there to our left here at Carter-Finley, all the way across the country and another country. In Winnipeg, the Carolina Hurricanes are taking on the Winnipeg Jets tonight. I promise some injury news coming from the other side. The Jets are shutting down Connor Hellebuck. He's going to have a minor arthroscopic knee procedure, which will anticipate having him out about 4 to 6 weeks, which obviously includes tonight. So, guy that has some trophies on his wall for his work in net recently will not be facing the Canes tonight. However, I brought this up around the office, right? Breaking news, and you immediately run around and go, "Whoa, what does this mean? How good is this for the Carolina Hurricanes? They don't have to face Hellebuck. They don't have to face Hellebuck." Well, maybe not as good as you'd think. For the simple fact of the Canes actually have a pretty good track record against Hellebuck. They get to him a good amount, and in pure irony, they don't have as good of a record against Eric Comrie. So who's going to be moving in there? And that hat tip to Adam Gold for passing along that information to me earlier today. And I'll say this. The more and more I think I understand hockey, and I talk to people who are high-level hockey thinkers, and I learn about the X's and O's, and every day you try to learn something new. The more I learn about hockey, I think the less I understand goalies. They're an enigma, right? It seems like every great goalie has one random team who's not a contender that they don't see well, or there's styles. It's really hard. So obviously Connor Hellebuck's not playing. My mind goes to that's great. Who wouldn't by the way, not great somebody got hurt or has to have a knee surgery, but great for winning percentages, right? You want to beat the other team at their best, but if you're just playing the odds, take out Hellebuck, you think the Jets are going to be not as formidable an opponent. Then you have somebody go, well, actually, the Canes actually get at Hellebuck pretty well, and Comrie gives them fits. It's like, what are we doing here, right? What are we doing here? Imagine, the Bills lose Josh Allen, and you hear the Texans go, actually, we can handle Josh Allen, but Mitch Trubisky is going to give us fits coming on. We have bad history. It doesn't happen that often. So. The news is that Hellebuck is out for 4 to 6 weeks. The reaction is maybe not what it should be when you're the Carolina Hurricanes going into the game. Looking at the game, though, and I brought this up earlier, there's going to be some emotions, right? There's going to be some Nikolai Ehlers emotions playing against the Jets, Seth Jarvis playing at home. The way I describe Seth Jarvis's feelings about Winnipeg, the Canes just put out a little video, like a minute of just asking the players, one of those get to know your players, take the helmet off sort of thing. What's your favorite city to travel to for an away game? And, Martinook listed 5 cities. I think it was Carrier said he likes to go to Buffalo because he can fish, and Stahl, New York, because I like trying all the different restaurants when we get to stop in, and the West Coast because we don't go there that often. And then they cut to Seth Jarvis. And Seth Jarvis is personality, right? He is the guy with the joke. He is the guy with the dry wit. He's personality, right? He's Seth Jarvis. We all know Seth Jarvis. I don't know why I'm describing him to you. His response was Winnipeg. That was it. There was nothing. That was it. And it's just goes to show he'll mess around about anything. But Winnipeg is no jokes. I like going home. In Winnipeg. So he's there wanting to show off, and I think that's a good vibe for Jarvie, especially because one of the things I want to see, and Dennis, you can agree or disagree.
Okay.
I want to see a little bit more chemistry on that top line, which makes no sense because they're guys that have played together for a ton, right? It's
chemistry in what way?
Meaning, I watched the top line play, and there's just something that I feel like they haven't reached their top level. And it's hard to say because, like, you look at the points, and especially since Fetch got going, like, he has a nice little streak. Aho, Jarvis, they've got their point totals up and are on pace for whatever. But I'm still watching going, yeah, but maybe there's one great play and they score, but I don't see enough, like, just shifts where they're buzzing. You know what I mean? I don't see enough I know where you're going to be at all points in time. I'm taking a chance and you have my back or whatever it is. And then there's also the little things like, and I know this was a power play, so it's not exactly top line, but the Aho turnover that leads to a goal. And you're just going, I don't know if they're playing as well as they should based on how talented they are. And a credit to them that they can still produce, maybe playing their, B- game and still have a bunch of points and everything. But I just want a little bit more excitement. I want a little bit more chemistry from that top line. So if Jarvis is being aggressive, I think that might spark him a little.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily chemistry. I think it's more or less just, are they playing at their max? I think that's more or less what you're getting to. Because I think those guys know, they've all been on the same team together for 5 years now. These guys know each other and skating a ton together. So I think it's more or less just like chemistry is something that I would expect you would see like Ehlers, Stankov, and Blake continuing to develop because they've only skated together in 10 games or something like that. So I get what you're saying though about them playing at their peak, but I mean, it just maybe an 82 game season, you're going to have little ebbs and flows, but as long as you're not consistently dropping down to like your D- game for long stretches, you're generally going to be all right.
Yes, I agree with all that. And you're right. Chemistry is probably not the right word, but, I speak for a living. So what am I with word choice?
Yeah.
But which is why you explain it, right? So hopefully you guys got what I was getting at. But I guess what I'm saying is like the top line, 82 game season, long season. You're going to have ebbs and flows. They have to have actually ebbs and flows. Is ebb the bad one? Flows the good one?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll go with it.
I'd like ups and downs, I should say. That line has to be the one with the fewest downs. Like their ebbs and flows can't be A+ to D-. Theirs have to be A+ to B. You know what I mean? Like you are the top line. You are Aho, Fetch, and Jarvis. So I guess what I'm getting at is I just want to see an A+. I want to see more often, more consistency, those tops, while understanding the bottoms or the lows or whatever you want to call them are a part of it. It shouldn't be the same. Like, we saw a fourth line high the other day, right? Where, what was it? It was Taylor Hall had a highlight goal. Jankowski scored. They were making a bunch of plays. I don't expect that consistently from a fourth line. I would expect that to be the exception and hopefully a lot of solid play to be the rule. For the top line, I kind of want that to be the rule and then the slow downs to be the exception rather than vice versa. And they have 2 more chances. Last point I'll say about the top line. I also think, and this goes for every sport, but I think Aho has done a really good job with it this year. The games where you have a lot of excuses to be tired are when you need your top guys to spark, right? I talk about in basketball, role players don't travel, right? It's notorious where you want your stars to take more shots because the role players, it's a different gym. Sometimes in basketball, college basketball, it's a different ball you're playing with literally. You need your stars to control it. I don't think that's necessarily always true in the NHL. I think, role players can have good games on the road. But when you are game 3 and game 4, 1 day in between, big travel of the road trip, right? The 4-game road trip crisscrossing the continent. I do think game 3 and game 4, I expect more of the top guys to, especially early on, be a spark.
Yeah. And I think we've seen it in the first game of the road trip. You had Jordan Staal, Taylor Hall scoring, Mark Jankowski, the quote-unquote bottom 6 forwards were the ones getting it done. This last game you saw, it was Jackson Blake getting a couple of goals. So you started to see that kind of creep up and some good scoring chances from the top line. I think, you'll start to see the top guys take over a little bit. And just the system, the way the Canes play is that they have such depth throughout the lineup is that on any night, the fourth line, like for example, like against Boston, Jankowski and Taylor Hall both score goals. Yep. I mean, Eric Robinson would not shock me if Eric Robinson scores twice tonight, by the way. Would not shock me in the slightest, because those guys all throughout the lineup can play against anybody.
But I'm like, the way I'll describe this is we do first goal scorer predictions, right? I've been right. What are we through 15 games, something like that? I've been right twice. One of them was the second half of a back-to-back with travel in the middle.
Yeah.
And I picked Aho to score the first goal in the second one. And it was because I think when you are that leader, you look around and go, all right, everybody here has a reason to be tired. I have to be the manufactured energy early. And he actually got an easy one. I think it was set up pretty bananas by Svech. But Svech would fit into the category as well. I want to see them kind of spark you if it's a game where, common sense might say you don't have the same energy reserves that you had earlier in the road trip. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're live outside Carter-Finley Stadium. Scoreboard right to our left, ahead of tonight's NC State-Florida State game at 8 o'clock. We have the Dean's List coming up. But first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like to tell you.
That's right. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for almost 4 months now, and I'm 42 pounds down. Here's the thing. You probably have heard me say 42 pounds for about a week or a couple weeks now, but that's the key part, is that I'm maintaining the weight that I've lost through Raleigh Weight Loss Center. That's the whole goal of the program. It's not just lose weight. It's to help you maintain it as well. And as we approach the new year, believe it or not, 6 weeks away, we're going to be into January in 6 weeks, literally from today. A lot of people have that New Year's resolution, get more fit, lose weight, eating better, all that kind of stuff. Why wait? Go ahead and get started on it now. Give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and set up a free 15-minute phone call. But also, when you give them a call, use the promo code LOSEIT. Lose it. We tell them lose it when you give them a call, because starting on Monday, November 24th, this coming Monday, all the way through Black Friday, which is a week from today, 20% off the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. So it's the lowest prices of the year, 20% off when you give them a call. Use the promo code LOSE IT. That's Monday through Friday next week as the holidays are approaching. Use the promo code LOSE IT, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, live outside Carter-Finley Stadium. We'll come back with the Dean's List after this.
Hey, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan. You know, I love Thanksgiving, and there's no better place to take care of that meal than with my friends at the Butcher's Market. My favorite location knows me as soon as I walk in. I head on in there, check out that fresh meat case, then roll to the refrigerator case for some homemade pasta salad and mashed potatoes. Family dinner, Thanksgiving dinner done in one stop. The Butcher's Market, with 5 convenient Triangle locations. Trust them to make your Thanksgiving meal a winner. Do me a favor, check them out at thebutchersmarkets.com.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Lowe's early Black Friday deals are going fast. Don't miss up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, up to an extra 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. And with Christmas around the corner, you're gonna need more string lights, right? Save $4 on GE LED 100 count string lights, now just $5.98. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're live outside Carter-Finley Stadium and outside the Lenovo Center. We're kind of in between the two. As much as we can, I'll give you a little bit of a weather report. If you're coming out to tailgate, I would say hoodie weather. Are we good with that?
Oh, yeah, comfortable hoodie weather.
Little sweater weather.
Yeah, comfortable hoodie weather.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you're moving around, having a good time. Not currently raining, although I wouldn't be surprised if it sprinkled. And this is a very uneducated opinion. I'm just looking up, not seeing a lot of blue sky, seeing some overcast. As my high school football coach would say, we were the Seahawks in high school. He would walk outside every day. It didn't matter if it was 110 degrees in training camp or if it was at the end of the year and we had snow on the ground. He would take in a big, deep breath, and he'd go, "It's Seahawk football weather." And it didn't matter if it was pouring rain, if it was icy, if it was foggy, it was always Seahawk football weather. So I'm going to use that and say it's football weather today. There's a big football game happening right to my left. And regardless of what it is, it's tailgate weather, it's football weather, it's have a good time weather here in Raleigh. But if you are looking for like a temperature, it's about 60, 61 as it stands right now. So that's as good as I can do.
It's a beautiful night.
It is. And it's supposed to clear up a little bit as the night goes on. Should be football weather by 8 o'clock for opening kick. In the meantime, here right here about 3:30, it is always time for the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we honor those in the college sports world that deserve a few extra accolades or a little extra praise. Starting with, you thought it was just a random thing that I would start with the weather, right? That I would give you a weather report leading into the Dean's List, but it was not random. Do you know why? Because the NC State basketball team makes the Dean's List.
Oh, okay.
Because they're on their way to the place where the weather is same every day. It's 80, 82, little trade winds coming out of the west, maybe a little mist in the afternoon. They're on their way to the islands of Hawaii. They're on their way to the Maui Invitational.
Your old native land.
Yeah, not Maui. I was an Oahu guy, but nonetheless, the 8 islands of Hawaii are glorious. Enjoy it out there. Grab some Kahlua pork. Taking a fire dancing display at a luau. Check it out. Taking the culture a little bit. They don't play till next week, but they are on the way. And I have a little bit more of an insight here. In college sports, there's a land grab, or not even a land grab. There's like a arms race, right? And you think it must be for NIL money, and it's kind of related. Or, it must be for facilities, and it's kind of related to that. It's for rev share, and it's kind of related to that. You know what the real competition is? Can you acquire and keep happy a booster with millions and millions and millions, if not billions of dollars? Because that's like, listen, I completely love a grassroots movement. I love the idea of if we all give $5 and there's 10 million of us, that's a lot of money. But I also understand the benefits of we can make one call and get that same amount of cash for way less effort. So I see the NC State basketball team posts pictures getting on the plane heading to Maui. And they're wearing hats that say like flight number 39. I don't know what they actually were. Actually, I can tell you exactly what. I have it right here. As I scroll, the hats say flight N247RU. Wolfpack, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I thought, usually coaches use that, and it's like, that means work hard 24/7. Are you giving your all, right? It's some kind of like motivational thing. Noah Fleischman, who covers NC State for the Wolfpacker and On 3, in case you were wondering, the tail number on the hats is NC State donor Andy Albright's private jet numbers.
Okay.
Everything's thought of. You want to keep the guy with the private jet happy. And then, Dennis, real quickly.
Yeah.
Looking at the scoreboard to our left here at Carter-Finley Stadium.
Okay.
What does it say underneath Carter-Finley Stadium?
Andy Albright scoreboard.
That's a good guy to keep happy.
Yeah.
That's a good guy to keep happy. His stadium literally has his name on it. The hats they're wearing literally has his name on it. That's one of the land grabs in college sports where you need to have, right? It used to be like Oklahoma State was so unique because they had T. Boone Pickens, this really rich guy that just funded everything. Now it's almost if you don't have some version of that, you're at a huge disadvantage. And some schools have 3 or 4 versions of that.
I'm wondering as well, them wearing it, is that an NIL thing?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, does he's advertising for his his own private jet? Is that
I guess,
something
yeah.
they
I
have to
mean,
do?
I'm sure he gives flights out to other people.
Yeah, charters it out maybe.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Hey, get money where you can find money. Do you have a Dean's Lister, Dennis?
I don't actually.
All right, then we'll keep it rolling to John Shire.
All right.
So tonight,
Duke men's basketball.
Duke men's basketball coach. Tonight starts the Brotherhood Run for Duke, where they play. They brought in, Duke did, and obviously these other schools, Niagara and Howard to play a little 3-game series. Duke will play Niagara tonight. Howard will play Niagara in Cameron Indoor tomorrow. And then Sunday, Howard will play Duke. The key is all 3 of those teams, including John Shire, are coached by former Duke players. It's Greg Paulus for Niagara, who they're playing tonight. And tomorrow it's Blakeney, who is the coach at Howard. He was on the Leitner-Hurley era national champions in the early 90s. As a former college athlete, and Dennis, I'm sure you have these relationships as well, there are certain teammates who you love, you want to work hard with, you respect, but you darn sure want to be competitive with and make sure you're winning and big brother them when you can. And there's a natural competition.
Mm-hmm.
Shire's kind of big brother and Greg Paulus here a little bit.
Yeah.
Greg Paulus, the head coach at Niagara. Shire and Duke doing a solid to a Niagara program, bringing them in, putting them on a big stage, playing in Cameron Indoor, celebrating Greg Paulus. Greg Paulus was 1 year ahead of John Shire at Duke.
That's true.
He left the program, graduated, exhausted his eligibility. The next year, John Shire won a national championship while Greg Paulus was playing football for Syracuse.
That's right. He was their quarterback. That's right.
So he was very involved in like the world and saw it all. This is great for everybody. I think it's a really cool thing. I think more schools should do things like the Brotherhood Run and get their alumni coaching elsewhere involved. And it's smart for Howard. It's smart for Niagara. But also, if I'm John Shire, I'm being like overly. Can I do anything for you, Greg?
Yeah.
While you're here, while you're visiting my program, is there anything your team needs? Go ahead and use the weight room if you need to. Like, I'm very much doing that because you respect him, you love him, you worked with him, he probably taught you some things. But yeah, you want to make sure you're winning those little jabs in the group chat, if you know what I mean.
I also wonder as well as if you could see NC State or UNC maybe follow suit. For example, Wes Miller at Cincinnati, former UNC guard. I think if I remember correctly, he was a walk-on with the team, but was part of a national championship team. So again, he's a part of that alumni base, and he's actually from the state of North Carolina. He's from Greensboro, longtime coach at UNCG. Do you bring Cincinnati? Hey, come play here, which is actually be a really good game.
Oh yeah,
Cincinnati come, and then you told me before the show is Julius Hodges at Lincoln. Up in Philadelphia to HBCU, it's a Division II school. Like, bring them down as part of an exhibition if you're Will Wade. Like, bring them right here to the Lenovo Center, right here. I think, just, hey, Julius Hodges back home. Kind of a way to kind of celebrate that, I guess, in a little bit.
Hey, absolutely. And then it's also like weirdly recruiting, right? Because then I'm sure when Greg Paulus is coaching, they'll put up highlights from the 2004 team. And if Wes Miller came through, they would put up highlights from the national championship. And that's all good. 2 more quick Dean's Listers here. One, Jordan Marsh from UNC. If you didn't see it yet, USC, sorry, meaning Southern Cal. He hit a contested 3 in triple overtime to beat Troy last night, 107-106.
All right.
And just the first buzzer beaters of a college basketball season.
Oh yeah.
It's like the birds chirping in spring. It's just fantastic, right? It just reminds you of how great college basketball is. USC Troy. You see that on the schedule, you're like, who cares? But then it turns into an all-time classic, and Marsh hits the 3 to win it for USC. Shout out to Jordan Marsh.
Unless you're a degenerate, you're like, all right, what's the spread?
Yeah, well, I guarantee you, USC didn't cover. Definitely hit the over, though, 107-106. And then lastly, Delaware Blue Hens, everybody. Delaware Blue Hens coming to the state of North Carolina tomorrow, taking on Wake Forest at Wake Forest.
Yay.
Delaware Blue Hens, state of North Carolina. They keep coming so I can go watch without driving far.
Okay.
2 years ago, caught them at Campbell, 45-7 victory. Last year, caught them at North Carolina A&T, 42-15 or 13, I think it was. Then tomorrow, Wake Forest. Just so you know what you're getting, Demon Deacons, Delaware Blue Hens.
I don't know. Coach Dicker's got a buzzsaw going on over there.
You're darn right. You're darn right.
He might be.
You ever seen a buzzsaw try to catch a chicken? They're chasing around like Rocky at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. You can't get them. They're quick. Blue hens, baby. By the way, we're not actually named after a chicken. We're named after an infantry in the Revolutionary War. But that's a story for another day. That's it for the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and dismiss.
A little quick news and note out there. This is all for all the Carolina Hurricanes fans out there. This actually just came about 10 minutes ago. Dropped into the email. Carolina Hurricanes activate Jalen Chatfield from injured reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good sign.
So, yes, very good sign. The fact that they sent Dominic Fensori back down to Chicago, Jalen Chatfield has been activated from injured reserve. My guess is that he plays tonight.
Let's go. I'm a big Jalen Chatfield fan, and I think he's a guy who, describe him as like your let me think. Describe as your plumbing in your house.
Okay.
When it's working, it's super important.
Yeah.
But you just kind of take it for granted, right? You're just
True.
you're hitting flush, you're turning on the shower, and you just expect it to work. And as soon as it's not there, as soon as it's not working, it's like, oh no, we really are missing that, right? It's something that can really ruin your day if it's not there. So getting Jalen Chatfield back is fantastic. We'll celebrate it for a day or two, a game or two, and then we'll probably get right back to taking him for granted and just going, he's going to cover for his defensive partner, and he's going to play really well. And we'll talk all about Jackson Blake.
Real quick.
That's how it works.
Who comes out? Which defenseman comes out?
I'm not taking out Nystrom.
I agree.
Unfortunately, that probably means Mike Riley. But,
that's fine.
Unfortunately for Mike Riley. But Nystrom, I think he's a lesson. I think you want to point to him to everybody in your system and say, if you get an opportunity and play well, that's what you get more chances. Look at him. He is a perfect example of it. So obviously that can change. He's a rookie. He'll have his ups and downs. But I'm not taking him out of the lineup the way he's playing right now.
Yep.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This weekend, a bit of a bowl eligibility bonanza for the college football teams that we care most about, including the one that plays right to our left here at Carter-Finley Stadium. We talk bowls coming up next.
Healthcare is not a game. Neither is health insurance. Contract negotiations between WakeMed and United Healthcare are down to the wire. Our terms are clear. Play fair. Stick to the rules. Patient care is at risk. Whatever the outcome, WakeMed wants to be here for you with the care you deserve. Anything else just isn't in our playbook. Let United Healthcare hear from you. Learn more at wakemed.org.
Hey friends, Paul Lyhander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It's Friday, and for FanDuel Friday, we're turning it up with NBA Happy Hour. So here's the bit. Every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is dropping limited time specials to get you in the hoops zone. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all of them designed to bring you that Friday basketball energy. It's not just another promo, it's your weekly pregame. NBA Happy Hour. Every Friday, 6 to 7:30 Eastern. Mark it on your calendars. Set your alarms. It's only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P. Grab your reward before the clock expires. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome home. Your home is not just where you live, it's where life happens. At Baker Home Exteriors, we're proud to continue Baker Roofing's century-long legacy of excellence, understanding that your home should be as extraordinary as the life within it. Whether it's roofing, siding, gutters, or more, we transform houses into the homes you've always dreamed of. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com and let's build something beautiful together. That's BakerHomeExteriors.com.
Gold is at an all-time high. Sell your gold, diamonds, or Rolex to Bailey's Fine Jewelry for top dollar. Old, broken, or forgotten, every piece has value. Their experts ensure friendly and discreet service. Bailey's, your trusted buyer since 1948.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Shout out to everybody here. We are outside Carter-Finley Stadium. As I probably don't say it enough, shout out to the behind-the-scenes crew from 99.9 The Fan. Anytime you're on remote, there's always technical things that pop up and things that need to be set up, and Dennis is included in this. There's, in a really cool way, kind of solving problems while things are like working, which is nice because we're avoiding future snafus. The way I describe it is like fixing the engine while driving like down the highway.
Yeah.
Like we're still on air. You can still hear us. And they're fixing things without losing. It's impressive. And I don't say it enough because I just, get talking about sports and don't slow down. But Dave Modlin.
Yep.
Dennis, Max back at the studio, Paul Ihander, a whole bunch of people, the setup crew here, Grace, Faith.
Rylan was here
earlier, so everybody. Just want to make sure on a remote day that we, it's the holiday season. Thanksgiving's coming up. Pass along our thanks. Bree's here as well doing some work. With that being said, they do all the hard work so we can talk sports. So let's do it.
I know.
Bowl eligibility. I said it earlier. Still matters, gosh darn it.
It does.
It means different things than it used to, but 6 wins is still meaningful. And even if it wasn't bowl eligible, right? Even if there wasn't the rule that to be one of the guaranteed bowl teams, you had to win 6 games. And even if it wasn't that, on a 12-game regular season, ensuring 500 or better matters, right? I mean, letting your fans know that when they sit down to watch you play, at least half the time they're going to leave with a smile on their face is meaningful. So if you look at the teams in the triangle right now, Duke's sitting at 5-5, NC State 5-5, UNC 4-6, and they all have 2 games left. So obviously for Duke and State, they need about 1 to get bowl eligible. You want more. You always want more. You want 10 wins. You want 11 wins. But with bowl eligible being some kind of a standard, State can become bowl eligible tonight right here against Florida State, which, by the way, shout out to the fan group that just walked around passing out beat FSU stickers.
I can just you don't even need a team on there other than just beat FSU. I'm okay with Florida State losing in everything, including lawsuits.
Heck yeah. I want it to be expensive for them too.
I know.
But going back to what I was saying, you beat Florida State if you're NC State, you're bowl eligible. Duke and UNC are playing each other this weekend. If Duke wins, you're bowl eligible and you get a win over a rival. UNC wins, your bowl eligibility stays alive. And more so maybe than ever. And we're learning this in the CFP rankings. Narratives, stories, how can you spin your season matters in college football. We've seen 2 teams. Well, the hot topic right now for the CFP is Miami and Notre Dame. 2 teams with identical records, 8-2, similar big wins, right? Everything they played each other, and Miami won. Notre Dame has done a better job of telling their story, and they're 9th in the CFP in the projections. Miami is out; they're 13th out of the projections. So meaning projections for the bracket. So, like how you tell your story matters. When it comes to fundraising, how you tell your story matters. When it comes to recruiting, how much money you are giving the player, and how you tell your story matters. So, State being bowl eligible, State being above 500, State being able to keep saying things like Dave Doran's never had back-to-back sub-500 seasons, being able to keep saying things like, every time you fight back at the end, all the way to the end, and that becomes part of your calling card. It matters. UNC, to be where they were a couple of months ago, and to be able to say, yeah, everybody counted us out and we got bowl eligible would be huge.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'd be a heck of a finish winning 4 out of your last 5?
Winning 4 out of your last 5. Obviously there would be 2 wins against rivals that you care about at the end. It'd be a huge part of the story of Bill Belichick's first year would be he showed up. It didn't go the way they planned, but he's such this good, amazing coach that he kept working and got 1% better every day until eventually they won and went to a bowl game. Like, it becomes a different story. If you're Duke, this is what Duke, right? Because Duke is 5-5. They play UNC if they win, they're bowl eligible. And then there's another opportunity. I think it's Wake at the end of the year to potentially win another. Duke gets to raise their floor, right? Because starting with Elko's first year, then Elko's second year, then Diaz's first year, we've seen, 8 wins, 9 wins. They're raising what the expectations are. This year has not gone to plan.
No.
They've lost a bunch of games that I think they understood if they put all their potential together, they would have won. But if you're Duke football, and I want to be clear, that came with a stigma for most of my life. If you're Duke football, and you can say we had the bottom end of our possibilities. We had a bad year. And we're going to like the 4th best bowl in the ACC. We're going to a high-level bowl. We're going a high-level relative. We won 7 games, closed on a win streak, and we're going to a bowl. When, again, for most of my life, the bottom level for Duke football was like 2 wins and a lot of embarrassment. You raise your floor by how well you play to close out a quote-unquote bad season, right? You want your bad seasons to be pretty good. You want to be able to tell recruits, if you come here and play 4 years, you're going to 4 bowl games. You want, and by the way, even if you are completely understanding that players rarely stay anywhere for 4 years, you still tell them, if you come here for 4 years, 5 years, you'll go to 4 or 5 bowl games. It's important. So this weekend is a big punching your ticket weekend for these teams, or keeping your hopes alive for these teams. And you'd like to avoid it if you can, going all the way down to the wire in the last game.
And speaking along the lines of bowl games, because we've seen this trend over the last couple of years with the transfer portal, that you see after the season, guys hitting the transfer portal and they don't play in the bowl game. Remember, that transfer portal window doesn't open until January 2nd now. So now it's just like, well, I might go to the transfer portal. I'm not entirely sure yet. I might as well just go ahead and keep practicing and playing, because I'm not missing anything if I don't jump into the portal right now. So you might actually see more guys play in bowl games than we've seen in recent years, where, let's be honest, in recent seasons, it's been a struggle for some of these teams to field a full roster for bowl games because they have so many people hitting the transfer portal. Hopefully that's not the case anymore, and that these teams can have most of their roster available to them. So these games actually, I think, will actually matter more now because of that.
And I always say, the best motivation, you find a way to align individual goals with team goals to where they're the exact same. I think that's going to happen in bowl games, where they're going to, like, if a player plans on leaving, they're going to stick around because they want another good game. They want more stats. They want to go play, and they want to put out good film. And coaches are going to coach them up hard because they want their program to win, and they want another game, and they want to go into the offseason with momentum. And we are not going to know the difference.
No,
right? We're not going to know why a player is out there, working hard and practicing. We're not going to know, which, by the way, is kind of how it always was.
Yeah.
The transfer portal has made it obvious who's maybe out more for individual purposes than team purposes. There were just as many selfish 19-year-olds 20 years ago as there are now. The issue was they had no way to make money. They weren't allowed to transfer. So they had no way of showing us their intentions, which is kind of how it's going to be, right? January 2nd, when the portal opens up, players are going to go in. We're not going to know what their motivation was at the end of the season, or what their motivation was in the Beef O'Brady's, salad bowl. We're not going to know. But either way, it's going to be fun for us to watch. And coaches get 15 more practices, whatever it is, to maybe convince guys to stay and show that you're a big part of the future, even if you weren't a big part of this season.
If I remember correctly, Jordan Waters, who transferred to NC State from Duke, played in the bowl game, even though he said, I'm transferring, still played in that bowl game for Duke.
I always wonder what those relationships, like, how good was your relationship?
Yeah.
That you can say, I'm leaving, but I've been so upfront with you about the process. I've worked so hard for you that you're still going to let me play in the bowl game. It's
amazing what honesty and communication can do.
It's the same thing when a guy and a girl break up and they immediately are like still hanging out in groups. And I'm just like, wow, you guys were really healthy in that breakup, weren't you?
Yeah.
You guys must have been really open and honest the whole time, because most breakups I see, it's not like, you break up on a Tuesday, that's Saturday because you're in the same friend group, you're bowling together. Like it's a different beast. But I think most breakups in the transfer portal are less cordial, but there are some, like you said, of Jordan Waters who, everybody's kind of on the same page. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4 is coming up next. The Carolina Panthers don't play over the weekend. They play in the big premier Monday night football game. Well, what is their emotion this weekend when they're getting ready for that Monday night football game? Stick around.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's RoofWorks.com.
Looking for a like-new ride without the new car price? Head to Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford and check out our Car Bravo certified used cars. We've got all makes and models. Each Car Bravo certified for quality and backed with warranty. Plus, right now you can finance at just 1.9% for 36 months. Don't miss your chance to save big on a certified car, truck, or SUV you can trust. Stop by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC today in Sanford or shop online anytime at WilkinsonCars.com. See participating dealer for complete details.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Mostly cloudy skies for us this afternoon. An isolated shower is possible through the evening. It's warmer, a high of 70 degrees. 58 overnight tonight, a small chance of a shower. Tomorrow morning during the Raleigh Christmas parade, we have the potential for some light showers. And then mid-afternoon, a quick line of thunderstorms. We could tie the record high tomorrow of 77.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcomb&company.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 480 points to 46,232.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I was supposed to say this last segment, so I'll say it this segment. I'm distracted because I'm outside Carter-Finley Stadium getting ready for a football game.
That's a nice, cool evening.
It is. And if you know me, a football game, it gets me all jacked up. Text keyword Wood to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Roy Wood Jr. at Carolina Theater on November 29th. That's keyword Wood to 919-860, Wood like W-O-O-D.
Yeah.
That's how you spell it. Make sure you spell it right because it automated sees that word, and there you go. So W-O-O-D, that's keyword. That's all you have to send to 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the comedic stylings of Roy Wood Jr. at Carolina Theater on November 29th. Now, 4 o'clock, time for football at 4. Carolina Panthers play on Monday. It is a Monday night football game on the West Coast, playing against San Fran. Christian McCaffrey will be involved in that contest. It's actually, yesterday we did a whole theme show, so we're not doing the whole theme today, but it could be reunions, relationships, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because Nikolai Ehlers going back up against the Jets in Winnipeg for the Canes. Christian McCaffrey going back up against the Panthers. Like there's these kind of, I don't even know. Speaking of good relationships, I don't know if I'd describe either of those as a revenge game.
No,
like both kind of seemed cordial-ish. Christian McCaffrey's done a lot of talking this week about, the whirlwind of the trade week, and it happened on a Thursday night, so he didn't get to say goodbye to his teammates and everything. And he liked his time in Carolina, but he's happy that he's been out in San Fran and all of these other opportunities. I don't know if there's bad blood as much as like an appreciation for what was.
Yeah.
With both Ehlers and the Jets and with McCaffrey and the Niners, but that might even be more confusing to deal with.
How so?
Like if somebody goes full James Harden and like tanks your team internally trying to force a trade, and then you play against them a couple years later, it's like everybody is very much on just the level with what it like. We want to destroy that person. We don't like them. We feel like they cost us something.
Yeah, hate that guy.
When Christian McCaffrey like does his best for the Panthers and a front office that is no longer here traded him away for too little, it's kind of like, no, I still like that guy, right? Like I want to beat him, but I like him. He did what he could for us. It's like more conflicting emotions than just that guy's the worst. I want to beat him by 100. If he comes over the middle, we're taking his head off. Like it's a different beast there.
And McCaffrey brought it every single day.
Exactly.
Like he did.
So it's like, I mean, we still want to win, but and not even to mention, there's not a ton of guys that he played with left.
Oh, it's very few.
They've turned the roster over, which happens when you get new coaches and new front office and everything. But it's only the names you know. It's Derek Brown, J.C. Horn, like we're very young. His kind of right at the end there. It's Taylor Moton.
Ike Ekwonu
was very young.
Yeah, he was a rookie when that happened. I think Brady Christensen was on the team.
So
he's hurt right
some
now.
More role player-y guys.
Austin Corbett,
J.J. Jansen,
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard,
yeah,
is probably the one that has they're in the same running back room. They probably have a unique relationship. But
that's it.
But yeah, my point is, it's not the same as you saw Cooper Kupp for Seattle playing against the Rams this year, and it's like. That's more, he knew everybody there, and he probably feels a little replaced by Devontae Adams. Like, Christian McCaffrey also dealt with watching the Panthers struggle after he left, which every athlete will tell you feels a little good.
Oh, you missed me, huh?
Oh, look at that. Your running and passing games are struggling without me. Maybe you should have had the guy that could do both. So anyway, there's that going on. I also, looking at Monday Night Football, right? And this is obviously like the real look-ahead stuff, right? Monday, tune into the show. We'll be much more dialed in with matchups and who's healthy and who's not, and all of that. But I want to talk to the Panther fans because we talk about Bryce Young a ton. Everybody does, and you can't help but get into the debates about, is he the guy moving forward? Is he the future of the quarterback position? Should you extend him the long-term contract? Should you pick up the fifth-year option? Was the one game an aberration? Right, all of those debates we have had, we will have, we'll continue to have. There's also a new coach, right? Dave Canales, for all that he is with the Panthers, he is a second-year head coach. He is learning, right? I've made the point a few times that, like every time we give Bryce Young the he's young, he's going to make mistakes excuse. There's also as many of those for Dave Canales, right? He wasn't calling timeouts. He wasn't running the special teams decisions and wasn't overlooking a defense until last year. And this year is obviously, hopefully, an improvement, and I think it has been. But if you're looking for who he can be, right? If we're doing the comps thing, right? When we're talking NFL draft, what do? Nobody is nobody's just a player who's like, we evaluate them for what they are. He reminds me a bit of Dan Fouts with the running of it's always something ridiculous with like Tyler Thigpen's mobility, right? We have to Frankenstein these players together. Mm-hmm. If I'm looking for a Dave Canales high-end comp, football specific, I think Kyle Shanahan is that, right? If you're looking for a high-end what he could be coach, it's kind of Kyle Shanahan, and if we were to Frankenstein somebody together, it's like Kyle Shanahan with the temperament and optimism of Pete Carroll. Like you, rather than the gruff, sarcastic, gosh, why did you ask me that dumb question feeling of Kyle Shanahan, you get the, I'm so glad you asked me that question. I would love to tell you more about how much I love football of Pete Carroll. But from a football perspective, what is Kyle Shanahan known for? His bona fides. He gets the most out of his offensive skill positions.
Oh, yeah. Get the most out of any quarterback playing for him, too.
The quarterback doesn't have to be a super alien athlete.
Yeah.
That's where I'm looking at Dave Canales and saying, your high-end comp is Shanahan. Brock Purdy is not height, weight, speed, impressive, right? Like I don't know if he was the guy doing the windmill dunks at his high school dunk contest. You know what I mean? Bryce Young is not height, weight, speed, measurables, an unbelievable athlete. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan was probably a Brock Purdy injury away from having that team in the Super Bowl, right? Remember, actually, ironically, Christian McCaffrey ended up playing some quarterback in that game.
Yeah.
And he was handing it off one-handed and doing all this weird stuff because Brock Purdy got hurt. Kyle Shanahan did make it to a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, not the height, weight, speed. It's not Lamar Jackson. It's not Josh Allen. It's not the highlight guys. They just scheme open their players in a way that makes their offense dynamic without the super dynamic quarterback. That's what you have to do if you're Dave Canales. You have to take Bryce and say, we're going to get the most out of Teteroa McMillan, the most out of Rico Dowdle, the most out of the players you have, and you don't have to have Bryce Young being Josh Allen, right? You don't have, and Josh Allen's a bad example because he did not have a good game last night. But I'm talking Josh Allen, the MVP of last year.
Yeah.
Or Lamar Jackson, the
we know.
MVP of the year before. Like, he doesn't have to be that when your offensive coach is so schemed up and so in tune and so cutting edge. You want a guy that just makes good decisions, executes the offense, gets you in and out of bad situations and everything else. So, like, I'm looking at this game and saying all eyes are going to be on Monday Night Football because they always are. There is a bit of, I believe, hopefully one day the Panthers can be what's on the other sideline from an extended standpoint. I'm not saying you look up to them like, some JV looking up to the varsity like, oh, boy, it's so cool just to see them play. But if you look at what the Niners have been the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they're pretty consistently playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a Super Bowl window that kind of opens and closes, year in and year out. They've had some weird down years. But I think that's where the Panthers want to get. And if you're going to have success with Bryce Young, you need Dave Canales to be that level of a play caller because he's never going to be the guy that, breaks records as a running quarterback or is throwing it into windows the size of a mailbox 50 yards downfield.
Question is, though, with Canales is that how long do you take or do you give him to get to even somewhere near that level? Because let's not forget that Kyle Shanahan was an offensive coordinator in several spots before becoming a head coach. Dave Canales called plays for 1 year before becoming a head coach.
And that's probably the same flaw with like draft comps.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Ty Simpson, who's played like 9 games with Alabama. And that's all the film we have. And we're going to comp him to, Kirk Cousins with more mobility. And it's like, well, Kirk Cousins, he didn't even start as a rookie, right? And,
no, it took him a couple of years to get
he
there.
Developed and he wasn't established. And then he was you like that. Like, Ty Simpson might take some time and Canales might as well. Here's the thing. And here's a lesson for athletes and coaches and politicians out there. You don't have to answer the question asked. You can say whatever you want. You ask me, how long is it going to take? My answer is, if you think he's eventually going to be Kyle Shanahan, you wait as long as it takes. Like, I think he's one of those level coaches. And if you have to eat some like weird 4th down decisions, or you have to eat some weird, like, I thought that was going to be schemed open, but instead we just, went 3 and out on 3 incompletions when we had to, run the clock would have made sense. If you have to eat some of that to eventually have a Kyle Shanahan level play caller running your team, I think you eat that because it's that much of an advantage, especially because he's your head coach and you don't anticipate him leaving. There's nothing more frustrating for me as an NFL fan, or as, I play fantasy. If one of my guys are on a team, to see an offensive coordinator just click with a team where the quarterback understands him, he's getting the most out of his players, And then he goes and takes a head coaching job somewhere else. And I'm like, no. Basically what the Lions are going through right now. Right? Ben Johnson was awesome. Now he's the head coach somewhere else. And it's like, goodness gracious. That won't happen with Dave Canales, right? He's a head coach. If things are going well, if things are improving, he ain't going anywhere. So if you have one of those ones, I think you let it rock. Which, by the way, that fourth down attempts comment there was not random. This stat surprised the heck out of me. This is just a fun fact for Panther fans out there.
All right.
Right now, the Panthers lead the league in fourth down conversion attempts. They have gone for it, left their offense on the field, showed confidence in the group. More, just quantity, than anyone else in the NFL. 27 fourth down attempts this season. What have they played, 11 games?
11 games.
So you're right. I mean, you're over 2 a game.
Yeah, 2 and change.
Giants second and 25th. Jaguars 23rd. Lions also 23rd, so they're tied there. Chiefs, Colts, Browns 21. But the Panthers are the most aggressive team on fourth down this year.
And we've seen the Panthers go for it even like first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we're at the 47-yard line. It's 4th and 1. Go for it.
And that could be motivated by a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
It could be they just so happen to get a lot of 4th and half a yards, and you're obviously more likely to go for it on 4th and super short than 4th and 9. Could be because they were so run heavy. 3 runs is probably more likely to leave you in a 2nd and short, or a 4th and short, than 3 passes, right? Because 3 passes could leave you incomplete, or you pick up the first quicker. Or how about this? Dime store therapist. How many times did we scream about you have to show confidence in Bryce Young? You have to show confidence in Bryce Young, which I think in play calling, it's not like front of mind, right? You're just trying to call the play that you think is going to work, which is where I think the lack of confidence was shown up until this last week. But fourth down going for it is very much like, no, I said before the game, I'm going to show confidence in Bryce. It's like more yes, no than it is like shades of gray. Like all those little 4th and 4s that he completed to Hunter Renfrow or Bryson Tremaine or whoever it was, those could have been conscious. I said before the game, I'm going to show confidence in Bryce Young. This is how I do it. And then, the play calls that were all run plays and short passes and nothing downfield were more of his subconscious going, I'm not actually that confident in him. Like his conscious was trying to force himself to be confident when his subconscious wasn't.
I think it's also some of it's a byproduct as well, is that this team has gone on a lot of game-winning field goal drives late in games. So you have to go for it on 4th. So they've been in that situation. But the fact that at 27, I love just the aggressive mindset in general.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking about it last night watching the first half of the Thursday night football game, is that, especially if I have a quarterback like Josh Allen or whomever it might be. So if I'm at 2nd and 1 and I'm at my opponent's 43-yard line, I'm already thinking I'm in 4-down territory at 2nd and 1, because I'm like, that's like a 60-yard field goal. But punting, I might only net 20 yards. I'm already in 4-down mindset at 2nd and 1 at the opponent's 43. So you know what I'm going to do? Play action, deep shot. And I might even throw the ball again on 3rd down because I trust I'm going to pick it up 4th and 1.
Do you know who you sound like?
Who?
And this is a compliment, Greg Olson. Greg Olson, who
I respect that.
Who he's done, and you can go find it online. I've listened to it. He's done some really deep dives into basically hating field goals.
I heard the conversation you had with Ryan Russillo about it. Yeah.
Hating field goals. He's done it a few different ways. He doesn't like taking the points.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the only field goals he likes are like 4th and a mile. So it's 4th and 26, and you're at the 42-yard line, kick it, and game-winning field goals. Other than that, with how far the kickoff is now returned or taken out on touchbacks, 3 points, but almost putting your opponent in the edge of field goal territory by giving them the ball back is kind of a net, 1 point gain on the big scale. Meanwhile, a touchdown is obviously worth more. So I do think you'll start seeing less and less field goals, but more and more high leverage field goals, and more Brandon Aubrey field goals where you're kicking it 7,000 miles.
That helps.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, Monday night, Panthers, Niners. We'll get you more set up for that on Monday, but football 4 is always going to be applicable. When we come back, there's some college basketball over the weekend. Some interesting decisions in the scheduling category. Stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know they haven't really been tested, but I like everything that I have seen from this Wolfpack basketball team. I like their size. I like their versatility. I like the fact that they share the basketball.
27 assists in the opener, 37 made field goals. You keep playing like that, unselfish ball, play defense. With their size and their talent, they could win.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
This holiday season, are you ready for the feast? The feast for your eyes, that is, with 8K TV from Soundstation and Security. Upgrade that home theater experience for all those direct-to-streaming, big-screen blockbusters with 8K TV from Soundstation and Security. Can't decide which one to get? Soundstation and Security has gift cards in any denomination. This holiday, shop Soundstation and Security with 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like a Koya Pearl stud starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Cary's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. The show today, live outside of Carter-Finley Stadium. 8 o'clock expected opening kick for the NC State Wolfpack hosting Florida State. Should be a good game. Beautiful night, although a little overcast. There's some rain earlier, but every night's a beautiful night for college football.
Winner of this game becomes bowl eligible.
Winner of this game becomes bowl eligible. So some real stakes on this one. And, both of these teams, I think everybody that wears their colors, right? Everybody that's wearing black and red for NC State and everybody that's wearing the gaudy garnet and gold for Florida State. 7 wins feels a lot better than 6, and 6 wins feels a lot better than 5. Like every win from this point out is, to me, crucial just towards how your offseason is, how much change is required in your offseason.
I know we're going to get into basketball here and stuff a bit, but to kind of build on that, so if you win this game and you win your final game of the regular season, and if you win a bowl game, now it's like, hey, guys, 8 wins.
8
wins. Like, that just sounds in general like, okay, 8 wins. Like, a couple games go differently, you're at 9, 10. It's just as opposed to, hey, you made a bowl game at 6-6, and you lost the bowl game, you finished 6-7. It's just, I don't know. It's just,
oh, absolutely.
And there's a big difference there.
And it's so much better in the eyes of history. Like,
yeah.
Think about it like this, and I'm guilty of it. Everyone is, but I think NC State fans will really get this. Dave Doran's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Over a decade, right? And he's the winningest coach, most wins in school history. And when you get into the Dave Doran conversations, and everybody's had them, right? Is what he brings good enough? Will he break through? Can he win double-digit games? Is he winning the games he needs to win? All of those conversations. I, like many, when you're having those, you bring up the career record, right? And you go look at. You're not looking at every schedule, every game, going, oh, he beat Clemson this year, or he beat Miami this year. He lost to this team. He lost to that team. You bring it up and you look year by year and go, all right, he went 5-5, 6-7, 9-4, 8-5, 9-3, 8-4, 4-8, and you're just reading those. And if you can realistically say, like, the floor is 8 wins, even if it really wasn't, right? The floor this year is obviously much lower than 8 wins. But if you win the next 3 years from now, you're going to be looking going another 8-win season.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to be putting all the context on that you put it on this year. You can go 2014. They went 8-5 with a win in the St. Petersburg Bowl. I'm sure immediately after the 2014 season, there were real conversations about each of those 4 losses. And, maybe that one win was kind of fraudulent. And, maybe that loss should have been a win, but XYZ happened and so was hurt in this game. But now when you look at Dave Doran and you're making those decisions now, all you see is 8-5 and a win in the St. Petersburg Bowl. So it's like winning this game right now, I don't think, winning 2, winning 3, I don't think really changes how you look at this season a month from now. But I think it does change how you look at this season 2 years from now, 3 years from now. And, assuming that certain people are still in that same position, that matters. So, you want to set your floor, you want to establish what you do consistently. And then obviously you gear up again next year to try to go chase that elusive 10-win season, which would, shut up a lot of other people.
What's the 8-win season in college football the equivalent to in college basketball? Like a round of 32?
In the ACC, an 8-win season to me is like you didn't play. You got like a double bye in the ACC tournament, or even like
you got to Thursday.
Yeah.
All right.
And you didn't have to play to get there, right? You didn't have to go. You probably started on Wednesday, won a game to get to Thursday. You know what I mean? If you're playing on Tuesday, that's like not bowl eligible. You know what I mean? That's things didn't go well. Like a 20-win season to me is like an 8-win season.
Okay.
Right? Because you do count. Like, so-and-so coach had 20 wins X amount of consecutive years. Like, 20 wins feels like, you don't fire your coach after a 20-win season. Like, I don't know. You don't fire your coach after an 8 unless you have ridiculously high standards, in which case the coach knew what they were getting into. My point is this, and we're kind of got off on a tangent here, but I think it's a good tangent to have. My point is this. Every win from here on out kind of puts you in a different conversation. Once you get to 5. Right? 4 and below, that's all to me generically bad. 8 and above, or 9 and above, including 9, everything is generically good. Between 6 and 8, every win feels like a massive step up in like vibes of the off season. No one's ever said like, oh, thank goodness we won 4 games. Right? It's 2, 4, 3, all bad. But, hey, got bowl eligible. Hey, look at that, 8 wins. Like, that feels very, very different. Now let's get to some college basketball quickly here.
There's the reason why I made the college basketball equivalent to an 8-win season.
Transition. Didn't pick that up. Either way, Brotherhood run is happening this weekend for Duke. Duke versus Niagara tonight at 7. The head coach of Niagara, Greg Paulus, former point guard for Duke in the mid-2000s. I think he graduated in 2009. Then Duke plays on Sunday, Duke versus Howard at 4 p.m. Kenny Blakeney, who was on the early 90s Leitner-Hurley national championship teams, was a captain, I think, in 94, 95. For Duke, is the head coach of Howard. So you're going to have 2 former players at Duke coaching their teams coming into Cameron Indoor to play Duke today and Sunday. Here's the unique part, and I've been excited to see how this goes. I like if I heard about this happening at like UNLV, I'd think it was interesting. So the fact that it's happening in the Triangle is get a little bit closer look at it. On Saturday, Howard and Niagara are playing each other in Cameron Indoor Stadium. So Greg Paulus and Kenny Blakeney, former Duke players, not coaches at Duke, are taking their teams and playing in Cameron Indoor. I think this is genius by Duke. First of all, it's exciting for Howard and Niagara. Let's be real. If either of them beat Duke on tonight or Sunday, it'll be one of the biggest upsets we've seen in years.
Oh, for sure.
But one of them is going to walk out with a win in Cameron Indoor.
Which is cool.
Which is cool.
Not many coaches can say they've done that.
Not many players can say they've done that.
That's true.
When I was at the University of Delaware, I had a bunch of friends on the basketball team. One of my roommates was on the basketball team. They played at Cameron Indoor and got smoked. Still probably, I'm speaking for them, one of like their 10 coolest games of their career.
Oh, yeah.
And got absolutely lit up. And that happens. Now, if they would have won a game in Cameron Indoor, could have been pretty cool. Could have been a moment. Could have been a thing.
You think the student section shows up for Duke for the Howard Niagara game?
I mean, like, if you're somebody that like doesn't want to camp out for tickets and stuff, and you just want to get in, like if they just opened it up and let you go, maybe, right? You can cheer for Paulus.
Yeah, why not?
And Blakeney. But my point is, like, creativity like this is really, really good. Like, there are certain staples. NC State basketball going to Maui for the Maui Invitational. I love that. I think it's a great decision. If I could, as a college basketball team, go play in the Maui Invitational or go to Bahamas or go to the Alaskan Shootout, I'd do something cool like that every year.
That's where Wake Forest is the Bahamas.
Yep, Wake Forest in the Bahamas.
Yep.
Well, man, they had brutal loss last night. We'll get to it if we have time. But my point is, like, those are staples, but at one point they were creative.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At one point, going to play in Maui, I'm sure, back at a billion years ago when it started up, there were other coaches going, really? That's weird. You're gonna pay to go all the way to Maui to play a team from Nevada or whoever you're playing. But now it's a really cool experience for players. Something like this, having two other teams play in your arena, but getting to celebrate kind of the coaching tree and the history. I think it's an interesting deal. We were talking earlier. Wes Miller was a walk-on. He's a coach now of Cincinnati. Was a walk-on UNC's national championship team earlier this century as well. If they brought in Cincinnati and made it a thing where it's honoring that national championship team, and I think he was on the one with McCants and Felton and those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like get Sean Mays on your sideline as a coach.
Yeah,
right. Make it a thing between those two guys. Bring in Raymond Felton. Have Marvin Williams stop by. Like, make it a way that your opponent is not just your opponent. They are who you're playing that day, and another reason to celebrate how great your own program is. I saw Greg Paulus tweet out a picture of Cameron Indoor, I think it was earlier today, and said, like, there's no place like Cameron Indoor. Name another coach who basically recruits for their opponent like that. Like, that's just broadcasting to all your followers that Duke is awesome. Like, that sort of thing doesn't happen, so I like the creativity of it. Now, we brought up Wake Forest, so I do think we have to mention real quick.
Oh, yeah.
They lost by 1 to Texas Tech last night.
84-83.
This is not an exaggeration. We're doing a lot of talking with the college football playoff and football about good losses.
Mm-hmm.
They might have the 2 best losses in the country.
That's true.
They lost to number 7 Michigan in overtime and lost to number 15 Texas Tech by 1.
And the loss to Michigan was also a 1-point loss.
Yes, in overtime.
Yeah.
So somehow closer than the 1-point loss that the final score shows. There is a gift and a curse of those 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
The gift is you can run with the best in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Do it once could be a fluke. Do it twice that close together early in the season. You can run with the best in the country. You were severely underpredicted as the 11th best team in the preseason in the ACC. I think you're pretty confident in that. The curse is, the bummer of it, is those are 2 huge wins that you played well enough to get that you just don't have. You collapsed against Michigan, had a big lead in the second half, didn't convert. The line, and hat tip to Josh Graham up there in the triad for pointing this out. Wake missed 9 free throws out of 22. They went 13 for 28 from the free throw line against Texas Tech. 59%. If you shoot 67%, that's not asking the world. If you make 2/3 of your free throws, you win the game. You have a crown jewel of your resume, win over a top 15 team in the country. and you're building your resume with a 1-point loss to Michigan in overtime and a win against Texas Tech. Instead, you're 3-2. You lost the 2 games you should lose. You won the 2 games you should win, or 3 games you should win.
And if you would have beat Texas Tech, you would be, because again, they're playing down in the Bahamas. You're looking at a game now against number 1 Purdue, which only boosts your strength of schedule and all that kind of stuff.
Net ranking and everything
all
else.
those kinds of things. That's bummer. And also, as well as you look at it from there's the trickle down effect of it all, is that those wins boost Wake Forest, and then in turn, when Wake Forest plays against State, Duke, Carolina, and all these other schools in the ACC, they get a boost from playing against a team as highly rated in the net. It's kind of a bummer in that regard.
If you beat Michigan and Texas Tech, which is tough to go back and change 2 legit finishes.
Yeah.
But if you do, it's much more likely that you're a top 30 team in net ranking, which means even when you go on the road to an ACC team, or if you play at home to an ACC team later in the year, if you're in the top 30, you're a quad 1 regardless. You're a quad 1 game, and if you get beat, obviously you're a quad 1 victory for those teams, which in turn raises that ACC opponent's net, and they become the same thing for everyone else. It's all about turning quad 2s into quad 1s, quad 3s into quad 2s. It's quite frankly nerdy and annoying, but it's what college basketball is.
If you're a fan of State, Duke, or Carolina, or Wake Forest included, you need these schools and just the rest of the ACC to win as many, if not all, those games as possible. That's the only way it boosts the league as a whole. It's the only way. Just the way the system is done now, it's the only way that's going to boost you. That's it. That's it. That's the game. Which, by the way, we have a conversation with Mike Glennon from the Pack Therapy podcast that we co-host, myself and Mike. Getting you ready for NC State football here in a second. But I do think that's, in a weird way, socially, how it's always been. Meaning like Duke-UNC and State. I've always wanted those games to be like top 5 matchups. Sure.
Right. I always root for my rival to win every game except for when they play me. Right. I used to want, our rival was James Madison in college. I wanted them to be number 1 or number 2 and us to be number 1. And I wanted to beat them by 1 billion. Right. I wanted them to have hopes and dreams when we won. Same is true now. It's just more like mathematically, that's what you want. You want your rival to be, you want your ACC conference opponents to be great, and then you want to beat them because that's best mathematically for you. But that's a nerdy way to just say, go ACC. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As promised just a second ago, Mike Glennon and I co-host a NC State football podcast called Pack Therapy. You can find it everywhere podcasts can be found. And with us sitting here outside of Carter-Finley Stadium getting ready for a Pack game against Florida State tonight, I thought you might like to hear a clip of this week's episode. So here it is.
Any bad game only stays with you as long as the next game starts. It is a Friday night game, which, short week. That's really good after a 41-7 loss. Night game at home. Florida State's in town Friday evening, 8 o'clock start, I believe. And then UNC to end the year. We'll start with big picture of the schedule before we dive into Florida State. What's still at stake? Is the bowl eligibility ain't what it used to be, but is that still number 1 on your vision board?
I don't think it's not what it used to be, but it's still like a pride thing.
Okay.
You don't go to a bowl game, that's like embarrassing. So that, to me, the bowl eligibility is more just a benchmark, you can say, but I think it's really more about pride at this point. It's like, man, back-to-back year, or even I guess last year they made a bowl, but you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be the team that they went 9 wins 2 years ago, and now you're back-to-back 5-6 wins. That's not what NC State is. So to me, it's a pride, but I guess the easiest benchmark is the bowl game.
Former player pride, is it? Does it mean something to you that there's a bowl game that you get to watch?
No, it doesn't. I don't care to watch the bowl game because the bowl games don't mean anything more. But again, it's a pride thing. It's I keep going back to Virginia Tech. You don't want to become what Virginia Tech has become. That is definitely a pride thing, and NC State's better than that. They've raised their expectations, and you don't want to go backwards. So for me, it would just be more the embarrassing. Man, we're not even in a bowl game this year.
I've I resist this line of thinking, but it's been presented to me about State a bunch of times, and because you brought up that you don't want to become what Virginia Tech had become, sometimes you do have to become that to get $50 million extra dollars per year in athletic funds over the next 4, and James Franklin razzle-dazzling everybody at the intro presser. Obviously, you don't want to bottom out. You never want to go hit rock bottom, but I think Virginia Tech will be a competitor in the ACC within the next 2 years, 3 years, however long it takes James Franklin to turn it around. And I don't think that happens if Brent Pry was winning 7 games a year.
Very true. But more that becomes an administrative decision that we are going to commit to football. I don't think James Franklin is going to Virginia Tech if the AD doesn't come out and say we are now investing, what was it, $90 million or something like that?
Oh, well more than that. But it was a 4-year. It was over 220 something million over 4 years.
Okay, so almost 80 million
in athletics.
Okay, but I'm sure most of football. You're right. So that to me, but yeah, maybe it is because they've hit rock bottom. That they did. Now, I will say Virginia Tech has a little bit more history of success with Frank Beamer than what NC State has seen. So those fans have gotten a taste of what it feels like to be a true national contender, where NC State fans still haven't had that. So I don't know if the athletic department, will have that itch to get back to glory like they once did, like Virginia Tech is. All
right, so we did a lot of big picture talk. Let's zero in. Florida State this weekend. It's an opportunity to bounce back. Puts you in the quarterback room. You've been in quarterback rooms in the NFL, college, like the amount of personalities and different quarterbacks, coaches, and offensive coordinators you dealt with. What's the move? How would you treat this week for? We'll talk CJ Bailey.
Look, I think you come in on Sunday and watch that film from Miami, and it's kind of a come to Jesus meeting, but it's like, hey, we got to clean this up. How do we get better? This just was not good enough. And then you come out to practice on Tuesday, and it's like you completely turn the page, and it's like energy, positive vibes. Get back to CJ being himself, which is the skipping, galloping down the field guy. So at first, it's some hard conversations, critical to get better, and then it's we've moved on. We have a new exciting opportunity in front of us to play Florida State on ESPN on Friday night. So there's a lot of reason to be able to move on quickly from that one. And that's the way I expect CJ to come out and play. He's never been a guy that looks like he stays down. So I think he'll come out and play well. He's played well at home all year. Now Florida State's going to present some of the challenges. They're actually better than their record looks.
They're underlying numbers or whatever would indicate not 5-5.
Right. The two common, opponents of losses, Miami, they lost 28-22, and Pitt, they lost 34-31. So NC
but then
State,
they also lost to Stanford.
Stanford's a bad loss. That's probably comparable to the Virginia Tech one. Mm-hmm. But just saying, obviously we just got rolled over by both Miami and Pitt. So I think this is a better Florida State team than their record appears, and NC State's going to have to play well to win this game.
Defense, I feel like sometimes on the pods we don't dive into defense as much because 5-6 weeks ago we decided they are what they are, and you don't want to keep harping on the same things. But in a game against Florida, obviously against Miami, if they played, 30% better, you lose, 32-7 rather than 41-7, right? If they make those 4-point plays, force a couple more field goals, great, you saved yourself 9 points or something. But it wouldn't have made a huge difference. If it comes down to excuse me, if it comes down to a close game, do you have a ton of confidence in the defense to bend but not break or come up with the one stop that they need?
They've done it a couple times this year. Virginia comes to mind.
Yep.
Georgia Tech comes to mind. So they've done it. So I think they can, and they've actually played decent in the red zone when they had to. So can they hold them to field goals? To me, is the key to the game. If they give up a bunch of touchdowns, obviously NC State's offense needs to score, but limiting them to field goals, I think they got to match the model of kind of what they did against Georgia Tech, and that goes offense and defense. Offense, let's take the ball, let's play with a lead. That way we give our defense some breathing room where they know we just have to be good in the red zone, and that can be enough to win the game.
Kurt Roper calling plays. We've all, at least I know I have, been involved in those games like the Miami one where, I don't know if play calling, I mean, you could help out your guys a little bit, but it was a Shane Falco quicksand game. What do you want to see out of the variety? How do you get – because we can't sit here and hype up the skill positions like we have and be impressed with Jolie and Smothers and Scott and Anderson and Grimes and all of these guys and then not expect them to be more successful than they were, not expect them to be schemed up.
Right. I think, to that Miami game, what can the OC do in that situation? Like, it was just – that's tough. Now, are there ways to help out the guys against better talent? Yeah, I think he probably could have found some of those ways. To me, my messaging, if I'm Kurt Roper, is we need to be great on first down because when we're playing behind the chains, it just makes it more difficult on everyone. We can't get Hollywood and Duke Scott going because, second and long, more than likely we're going to have to pass. Then the defensive line can start, pinning their ears back and they know they can just rush the passer. We've seen when teams have some good pass rushers, it's made it difficult on this offensive line and CJ Bailey. So my messaging to them is let's be great on the early downs. And if we can stay in the third and manageable situations, we've shown that we can convert and move the ball down the field.
Now, how, right? Because being great on first down is ideal, right? But is it being more conservative in your play calling to make sure you get 4 yards so you're never, it's 2nd and 6, which always feels okay? Or are you hunting for more significant plays? Like what how?
To me, yeah. Obviously, you got to. It's easier said than done. Just say let's be great on first down. But I think that probably falls on Kurt Roper. Is what's the weakness in Florida State? If we just have to, basically the way NC State's defense plays, they play off coverage. Let's take an easy hitch and get to it. If Florida State does that, then we're gonna have to find ways to do it. Or it might be, hey guys, they play man coverage. We got to win on a slant route. It's a pretty easy, basic route. We got to win on a slant route, and that's how we're going to win this game. So, without having dove into the details of Florida State's defense, I think that does fall on Kurt Roper to say that we got to win on first downs. To your point, and this is how we're going to do it.
Once again, that was a clip from this week's edition of Pack Therapy, the podcast. That's one that I co-host with Mike Glennon, who you just heard, NC State legend, 10-year NFL veteran, and he gave you some insight into how this game might go here tonight and how State can bounce back from the Miami game facing off against Florida State. We are outside of Carter-Finley Stadium, the location for that game, and I will say this, the energy is rising. Tailgate's starting to get rolling. Everybody's starting to get in the spirit. The opening kick about 3 hours and 15 minutes from now, 8 o'clock opening kick. When we come back here outside Carter-Finley, we will hit one of our favorite segments of the week, some real, bold predictions. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Winnipeg.
It's a flick to the shoot, score! And the captain with the net front again.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7:30. Puck drop at 8.
Hall in on Swayman. Hall waits and he scores! Taylor Hall with the beauty.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
It's bow time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixings to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's bow time.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $12 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I feel like I make this speech every time we're remote at a game. Okay. And speech might be the wrong word, but it's a monologue of some kind. There is a special energy around live sports.
Yeah.
Starting about now, about 3 hours before the game gets started, and it's a slow burn. People think you just show up at a game and it's like high energy. No, it's like 10% right now, but you feel it. Your beats per minute, right, with some music going on in the background here. Just something to get your feet moving. By game time, you'll obviously be like, screamo metal or something. But it's I just love the feeling of live sports when you're there, you're in the mix, and it's just growing, and the crescendo is coming. It's like EDM music, just building up, little fist bump action, and then you're ready to rock. Which I should say, we are outside Carter-Finley Stadium for tonight's Friday night ACC football game. State hosting Florida State. Big one for bowl implications, big one for how these teams finish their season and the momentum that they go into the offseason with. But the energy is definitely starting to rise as the sun sets here in Raleigh. Right now, though, we're going to build up some energy for a few real bold predictions. Let's fire it up. Now, how do we want to do this, Dennis? Are you going to be the judge, or is Max the bell and buzzer back in the studio?
Max is going to be the bell and buzzer back in the studio, back at the Lenovo studio. Max, you're in charge of the bell and the buzzer.
All right. If they're bold enough, give me a bell. If not, give me a buzzer. Max, are you ready to roll?
Yes, I am.
All right. You could have fired the bell there, but it works. You can speak with bell and buzzer as well. It's kind of a fun little deal. We'll get started. Starting with this game right here, right outside the Carter-Finley Stadium. Hollywood Smothers, 2 touchdowns for NC State. There you go.
Okay.
I think it's a bounce-back game. I think it's a bounce-back game. He had, 7 carries for negative yards last game. I think he's going to be running angry. I think the offensive line should be furious. The football game tomorrow, Duke at UNC, 3:30 p.m. start. I'm going with 100 or more rushing yards for Nate Shepard, the freshman for Duke. Not bold enough.
Really?
A freshman against a Bill Belichick defense.
So number 12, number 12 country, number 12 freshman in the country.
I'll go 110 or more yards rushing. So the difference is somewhere in there. The line is somewhere between 100 and 110.
Just pick up that extra first down.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the deal. I think the stereotype or the reputation for Bill Belichick is what? He makes you beat. If you're going to beat him, he makes you do it left-handed, right? He takes away your dominant. He takes away whatever you do best. I think when you're going up against Duke, you're going to try to make Darian Mensah's life very difficult, which inherently means maybe there's some openings in the running game, and Nate Shepard has been good enough to take advantage of that this year. As you heard Max say, ESPN has him as the 12th best freshman in the country. How about we go to some hockey?
Okay.
How about we go to some Canes at Winnipeg tonight, 8 p.m. puck drop right here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm going with this. Max, hopefully you give me the bell. Jalen Chatfield goal. Let's go.
Let's go.
Which, by the way, Jalen Chatfield taken off IR earlier today, off the injured reserve.
He's activated, folks.
He's active. He's activated, and he's active, and we're expecting him to be in the mix for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, coming off of an injury, which is a big deal. So I think, fresh legs out there, feeling good, feeling rested. Jalen Chatfield goal. And I got the bell for it, which I appreciate. Canes at Buffalo on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Because this is our last bold predictions till then. Sebastian Aho, multiple goals. I feel like he's due for a 2 or 3 goal game, right? A little Hattie maybe. I just I keep saying it's going to come. He's going to have his 2 goal games. He's going to have his big production games, his 4-point games. They're going to happen because he's Sebastian Aho. What better than at the end of a road trip to kind of spark his team before they come home and 4 games and 7 days, different city every time, a lot of travel. Sebastian Aho with the multiple goals on Buffalo.
Can I add a Canes bold prediction here?
Let's see. Well,
all right,
he'll decide if it's bold.
Right, Max is going to decide. All right, real bold prediction tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes. Nikolai Ehlers multiple points. Yeah, let's go. Going back to Winnipeg. It's going to be emotional. Let's call it what it is. When you've leaving somewhere you've been for 10 years and you go back for the first time, you're going to be in the feels. But sometimes it gives you a little extra boost as well. I see Nikolai Ehlers getting multiple points tonight. Give me a goal and an assist.
A goal and an assist.
Yeah, and he factors in on the game-winning goal, too.
All right. No, we have first goal score predictions coming up later.
I know. Just say he's going to factor in on the game winner.
I was going to ask you more details, but I don't want to give anything
away
for later on. More real bold predictions. Panthers at Niners on Monday. Again, we don't have a real bold predictions before Monday night.
Oh, okay.
Rico Dowdle.
Rico.
Outgains total yards. Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Rico. Bright lights, baby. Rico was talking to the media today. He said he thinks of every game as an audition because he's on a 1-year contract. Well, guess what? Every GM in the league is watching Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers, and everybody knows Bryce Young just broke records in the passing game. It's clicking now. Rico Dowdle, baby. I still think he's the engine that drives the team.
Let's go.
And hopefully Christian McCaffrey doesn't go for like 250 because that is within the realm of possibilities in this one.
Yeah, Chris McCaffrey, like 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like,
they both starting linebackers for the Panthers might be out.
Yeah, neither Christian Roseboom nor Trevin Wallace practice again today.
The possibility is there for Christian McCaffrey, so I might be putting something out into the universe and hoping to get positive results in return. Duke versus Niagara tonight. We'll go with at least one college basketball here, although State and UNC both don't play till next week, so they have some time. Cameron Boozer goes for at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm not saying you're wrong for giving me the buzzer there.
Those are his averages, I believe.
I think that shows how ridiculously good Cameron Boozer has been. He's in his 6th college basketball game, and 20, 10, and 4 is not bold.
I mean, like you said, Max said, that's his averages. That's what he's averaging right now.
I did that intentionally. He's the first player in college basketball history in his first 5 games to average 20, 10, and 4. So what do we go? We go 22, 11, and 5. All right. I mean, that's absurd. That's what it is. 20, 10, and 5 for a freshman. Not bold enough. This one's for you, Max. This one's for you because I know where your fandom lies. By the NBA trade deadline, LaMelo Ball's not a Hornet. That's bold?
That's bold? Really?
There's some.
By the way, unfortunately, it's bold because I just don't know. I just don't know if it's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for the LaMelo experience to continue at this point.
There was a report from Yahoo that he's frustrated to be open to a trade. He talked to the media today, said they didn't hear that from me. It's not true. Usually when there's smoke, there's fire on that kind of stuff. And it's Con Knippel's team anyway now. Him and Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
Last one for you. Real bold predictions. Final prediction of the week for real bold predictions. The Delaware Blue Hens going to Winston-Salem and knock off the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. It might be bold.
but I won't be surprised.
There's bold and reckless. There's a difference.
Let's go Hens. I wonder what the spread is on that game. I'll check it during the break.
17.5.
17.5. That's well within the realm of possibilities. That's not
nothing.
bold enough. Anything less than 21, we get the dub. Either way, appreciate Max back at the studio for running real bold predictions for us while we enjoy the atmosphere outside Carter-Finley Stadium, where the Wolfpack getting ready to take on Florida State, 8 o'clock tonight. But before any of that, we have to get to the starting five, which we will do right after this. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Brady and Belichick missed the playoffs once in Tom Brady's first season as a full-time starter. This is too deep into this run to miss the playoffs. They got destroyed in the Super Bowl. They don't look dominant on offense. Denver is significantly better. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I do not want to hear about this Chiefs dynasty in the same sentence as the Patriots dynasty.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Lights are going up, snow is falling down. There's a feeling of goodwill around town. It could only mean one thing. McRib is here.
The McRib season gets even more magical when you pair it with any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.49. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Price and participation may vary.
McRib is here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Still searching for the perfect gift? Look no further. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Omega Showroom. Each Omega timepiece is crafted in Switzerland with legendary precision. It's iconic, timeless, and unforgettable. Just like the person you're shopping for. Make this holiday one they'll never forget. Visit Bailey's Fine Jewelry today for your perfect gift.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. Stock Exchange, but there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 919-205-9800. That's 919-205-9800.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WREL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A couple of spotty showers remain possible for the rest of the day today. Some showers possible overnight tonight as well. Our low temperature tonight gets down to 58. And then scattered showers and a few isolated storms are possible on Saturday with a high of 77.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money at the closing bell. Dow Jones up 493 points to 46,245.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
That's right. It is time for the starting 5 here on The Drive. One more reminder, just in case you can't tell from the excitement in the background noise. We are live outside Carter-Finley Stadium, getting ready for tonight's NC State-Florida State ACC Tilt Friday action, 8 o'clock kickoff expected. And the tailgate world is getting fired up. Just heard from some of our coworkers here that are making the rounds. There's some seafood boils going on. There's some big tents, some pretty serious tailgates. I always respect somebody that goes all out for the food at a tailgate, right? I think a lot of people get drawn, and this is personal preference, not like important stuff. A lot of people get drawn to like the big RVs, or if you got a lot of TVs, some loud music. I tend to believe that if you spend most of your time on the food, everything else will come together kind of nice, right? Yeah. People bring chairs. People bring a football to toss around. Somebody will show up with cornhole. Like, everything else get taken care of as long as you bring the goods with the food.
I always say this when it comes to a tailgate. If you want to make friends, like if you don't have a spot to actually tailgate, or you can't bring your own grill or something like that, bring hot dogs and buns and a case of beer and just go to another tailgate, be like, hey, can we just throw these on your grill? We brought beer for you guys. And be like, yes, absolutely. Because we're bringing food and we're bringing beer. We just need a place to grill it. I guarantee you'll instantly make friends.
Just don't be empty-handed and be nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Sometimes it is that simple.
You can mind your own business. Hey, I just need to throw these on the grill. Like, people are like, yeah, sure. All right.
If you want to throw at this game, if you want to throw a go pack, that usually endears you quite a bit to the local crowd. If you're at a Canes game, go Canes. Like, just learn the shout. But also it could expose you as an outsider. I did see, what was it? I think it was a commercial. Go Tide at an Alabama game.
Oh, really?
So if you say go Tide, people will know you're not actually an Alabama fan, right? Just be aware that you can be identified in both directions. With that being said, it is the starting 5, and it's time for the starting 5, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Stankoven. Shot gets through the score! Jackson Blake out in front. Walker got it through, and Blake with the redirect. And there's the one through Wallstead, and the Canes are on the board.
This line has been all over it all night long.
That's the voice of Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy for the that was last game. Gosh,
yeah.
The games are bleeding together for me. Carolina Hurricanes played 2 nights ago in Minnesota. They are in action again tonight at Winnipeg as they are playing game 3 of the 4-game road trip. They have already earned 3 of a possible 4 points in the first 2 games. Big one tonight. Dennis, I'm setting you up.
Okay.
The if-then statement. If blank happens, then the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Winnipeg Jets and head to Buffalo with a big win.
If the top line of Jarvis, Aho, Svechnikov, if they combine for 2+ goals, they win tonight.
2+. I like that.
If they combine for 2+ tonight.
I like that a lot. And by the way, I was just short. My if-then statement for the Minnesota game was if they got 3 goals from the top 2 lines, then they win the game. I felt like they deserved to win the game, even though they
absolutely
didn't. So I'm only yes, we are live. We got some kids here saying what's up. Give us a score. Who wins today? NC State by how much? 49-30. 45-21.
45-21. That's a big
State
win.
Wins.
All right.
Go Pack. There you go. Canes. Where were we? Oh, right. I thought they deserved to win the Minnesota game, even though they didn't.
Yeah.
So I'm still counting my if-then statement as a hit. For Dennis for tonight, if-then comes down to the top line getting 2 or more goals.
I say 2 or more.
If they do that, they beat Winnipeg.
By the way, real quick, if you missed it earlier in the show, Connor Hellebuck, the starting goalie for the Winnipeg Jets, is going to have a minor arthroscopic surgery on his knee, so he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. But also news for the Carolina Hurricanes, Jalen Chatfield back in lineup, or at least he's activated. He's going to play tonight.
We
expect him to play tonight, but the fact that the Canes activated him today tells me he's going to play.
I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me earlier.
Okay.
Who do you take out?
I think you take out Mike Riley.
Yep.
I think I saw earlier in the line rushes that Nikishin and Riley were working alongside. I think it was Nystrom today. So it would not surprise me if you see Nikishin skating alongside Nystrom as a pair, Chatfield and Keandre Miller back together as a pair, and then Shane Gostisbehere, Sean Walker tonight. I think Joel Nystrom has earned the right to stay in the lineup.
Nystrom, Nikishin, between the two of them,
have
like 30 NHL appearances.
Not even
20, 24, whatever it is. Has there been rookies with 24, whatever, close to roughly appearances that feel less like they have 24 roughly appearances?
Well, the thing is, as well as in Nystrom, this is his first year in North America.
I mean, before being called up to the Canes, he had played 7 professional games in North America.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's probably played close to that in the NHL now. Which, I mean, I'm just pointing out that those two guys are wildly inexperienced and in a short amount of time have earned a ton of responsibility and respect.
Yeah.
Which is not easy on the Canes. Like, Rod Brindamore doesn't give respect to rookies. They have to earn that respect.
Oh, yeah.
And when you have so many veterans available, it's like they don't have to go to you, right? So credit to those guys for playing in a way that so many veterans and established players and coaches already trust them on a line or a pairing, potentially by themselves. Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, we have to give him Chatfield and we have to give him Gostisbehere, so there's at least one veteran out there. They're like, hey, might be Nikishin and Nystrom out there.
Yeah.
On, obviously critical possessions, because everyone's critical against a team like the Jets. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
It's a 28-yarder for the win. Jansen to snap. JJ the snap. Martin puts it down. Fitzgerald swings the leg. Yes. The kick is good, and the Panthers walk it off in overtime again in Atlanta. Your final score, Carolina 30, Atlanta 27. Ryan Fitzgerald, the game-winning kick.
That's what it sounded like last week when the Panthers got their win over Atlanta. And in overtime, 6-5 now. They are kind of a crazy 6-5.
Yeah.
Meaning they're 6-5, but I think their point differential is like minus 42. Their losses have been bad. Their wins have been close. But 6-5 is 6-5. You can't take it away from them. The latest as far as Panthers injuries and practice availability, Dennis, do you have it up there in front of you?
I do. So Trevin Wallace, the inside linebacker who missed this past Sunday because of a shoulder injury that he actually sustained against the New Orleans Saints, did not practice again today. That was actually the big question mark, is that how quickly can they possibly get him back? So not practicing again today. Also, they're already anticipating being without Christian Roseboom, who had a hamstring injury late against the Atlanta Falcons. Roseboom did not practice today either. So you're looking at Claudin Charles, who filled in for Trevin Wallace last week, getting the start once again, which, by the way, he had 10 tackles in the game, filling in for Trevin Wallace. But you're looking at a combination of a guy like Chris Barnes, who has been mostly a special teamer in his career, though he does have starting experience in his career. I think he started about 24 games or so in his career. So at least you have a little bit of veteran experience in that regard. But after that, it's pretty thin regarding the off-ball linebackers. But everything else, or everyone else at practice, has been full go, which is also a good sign. So Bryce Young with the ankle injury has been a full participant. Xavier Legette with the hip injury, full participant as well. So everyone else has been good to go.
Now, I talk about this all the time. In the NFL, everybody's dealing with injuries at this point, right? There's no team that's 100% healthy. It would be like buy a lottery ticket if that ever happens through this many weeks. But I also point this out, right? Every team doesn't get hit as there's a difference between, I don't know if this is even a good analogy, like getting shot in the foot and getting shot in the shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, some hurt more and some render you more useless. When you're playing the Niners, off-ball backer, kind of a spot you don't want to be really hurt at, right? Because that's one that's going to be more painful, because they have Christian McCaffrey, they have George Kittle, they have a creative play caller who can put those guys in binds as far as play actions and getting them to come downfield and throwing it over their head. So whoever it ends up being, Charles, Barnes, Martin Scott, like whoever it ends up being, they're going to be on their P's and Q's on a Monday night game where, one bad play, everybody's going to see it, and it could change the game. That's number 4. Let's head to number 3.
Shot clock down to 7. Simpson around the screen. Fires to Knippel. 3 on the way. It's gone. Con Knippel makes it a 4-point game.
We were going to talk about a rumor coming out of the Charlotte Hornets for this one, but I'm calling an audible, and I'm jumping to a little college basketball because there is a stat in front of me from the March Madness men's basketball account that I think is a quite fascinating stat. The streak continues. Right now, this season, ranked teams, so teams ranked in the AP poll, are 85-0 against unranked teams in the AP poll. The longest streak ever in the history of the AP poll. So not a single ranked team has lost to an unranked team this season. I say that as a Dennis, I feel like you're running through. Your eyes got big. I feel like you may remember. This is from at March Madness Men's Basketball. It is the official NCAA March Madness account. 1.7 million followers, so it is as legit as it comes. 85-0 ranked teams versus unranked teams this season. Which the reason I bring it up is for the first time in at least a while, State, Duke, and UNC are all ranked, and they're all taking on their schedule as you do. They're going to be putting this on the line every single time they go out there, right? Duke against Niagara, NC State in Maui, UNC has some games next week. So they got to keep living up to their end of the bargain. But also, Wake Forest, an unranked team, lost to Michigan in overtime by 1. Mm-hmm. They're number 7 in the country. They lost to Texas Tech last night by 1. Texas Tech is number 15 in the country. They could have had, just with a tiny one thing done better, anything done better, make more free throws, hit that one follow-up, don't foul on the and one, like pick a play. They could have the 2 most impressive wins in the country. 2 of them. I think what you're also saying is that a ranked team is due for a loss. I mean, a ranked team's due for a loss. They're not going to be undefeated forever as a group of 25. Well, ranked team losing to an unranked team. They're due for an upset. Yeah. Perhaps, or if we want to get big picture with it, perhaps with NIL, there's a bit of condensing the talent. Like the top 25 teams might be a significant level above. Because think about it like this. When the unranked teams upset a ranked team, it's usually because they got a couple dudes, right? Like there's, the unranked teams pulling off upsets. All right, we got a senior who played well last year, whatever. Maybe that senior's now playing for one of the ranked teams because they hit the portal and get paid. It's we're going to continue seeing how the portal and NIL changes sports. We don't really know. We've seen some, but that could easily be one of them. We might be in line for less upsets in college basketball, which would be a bummer. We might be in line for less upsets in college basketball simply because, if you're good at a group of 5, you don't stay there very long. No. Yeah, if you're good at a mid-major, I don't want to call them group of 5 in basketball. If you're good at a mid-major, you might not stay there very long. And that is coming from somebody who I'm a fan of the Delaware basketball team. And at one point we had like 3 or 4 consecutive freshmen of the year in the CAA, and all of them played somewhere else their sophomore year. Like it's like we could have all 4 of them on the same roster, but no, they all left. That was a handful of years ago. But 85-0 against unranked opponents. Phew. What number was that? Number 3? Yep. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
It's Smothers now, runs up into a tackle, bounces off of it, sprints over the 40. Watch out, breaks free 30, pulls away 20, and he's gone. Hollywood Smothers inside the 10, and it is a 59-yard Hollywood Smothers rip on his 3rd touch of the ball game.
There are some fans that are going to be upset by that one. We are playing an NC State highlight. By the way, we are outside Carter-Finley Stadium for the NC State game later today. We are. That could be an Easter egg for what number 1 on the starting 5 is going to be. Tease. But number 2 we played the NC State highlight to get into Duke at UNC football.
That's right.
Duke-UNC tomorrow, 3:30. The victory bell on the line.
That's right, it is.
If you remember at Bill Belichick's intro press conference, he said that the family lore, the family myth in the Belichick household was that his first words as a little Belichick baby were beat Duke.
That's right. He did say that.
Although I like to imagine Bill Belichick being born like a 60-year-old curmudgeon-y coach. At one point in time, he was, a toddler, a youngster learning to speak. And his first words were beat Duke. So we'll see if he was predicting the future of his coaching career tomorrow at 3:30. This one's interesting for a few reasons. I mean, right now, if you look at the records, okay, Duke comes into the game 5-5. UNC comes into the game 4-6. Duke, all the momentum in the world coming into this year, right? They had a team that lost very little to the transfer portal, brought in, some would say, the highest paid player in college football in Darian Mensah, a defense with All-Americans, an offensive line with All-Americans, a lot of good. UNC came in with momentum and then lost it all almost immediately with the way they played through the first month. If UNC upsets Duke, they're tied at 5 wins apiece.
Yeah.
Going into the final week. Think about that. There's a lot on the line. In a rivalry game, there's a lot on the line. And what I love about it most is it's strength on strength. Duke's offense, Darian Mensah, one of the best passing offenses in the country. Statistically, you could argue it is the best passing offense in the country from a volume standpoint. UNC, no one's arguing it's the best in the country, but their defense has leveled up 5 levels.
It's kept them in games. Even recent losses has kept them in games for sure.
So it's strength on strength. When Duke has the ball, that is going to be some very high-level ACC football. Now, on the other side, when UNC has the ball, it might not be as high on either side, but that's going to make for a very competitive game, right? It's this is going to sound mean, but you get the logic I'm going for here. We used to do our spring games where you'd put the number 1 offense with the number 2 defense, and they would be like the blue team. And then you put the number 1 defense with the number 2 offense, and they would be like the yellow team or the white team, and they'd go play. And that way, the 2s were always up against the 2s, the 1s were always up against the 1s. So it was competitive in both, right? It was never the 1s against the 2s or the 2s against the 1s. That is a way to set up a competitive match. If I look at this, Duke's offense against UNC's defense that's good on good. The other one is lesser unit on lesser unit, but hopefully still competitive in a way that it gets to be a really exciting game.
Something's got to give, right?
Exactly.
Something's got to give.
The movable object, unstoppable force, whatever you want to call it. Like it should be an entertaining game with stakes because both of these teams are UNC trying to keep their bowl hopes alive, Duke trying to punch their ticket to a bowl. And what will be looked at is probably an underwhelming season, regardless of how they finish out. They don't want it to be super underwhelming. There's levels to it. But that's at 3:30 tomorrow, and obviously we'll break it down on Monday. And now, with the tease, right, earlier with the highlight, let's get to number 1.
Go 1!
I wasn't sure if we were going to play Hollywood Smothers scoring again.
I don't know. You did make a bold prediction. He scores 2 touchdowns today.
I did. I think he needs a bounce back. I think he's one of the best running backs in the country if healthy, and he needs a bounce back because Miami really put the offense in handcuffs for NC State.
Oh yeah.
By the way, we are outside Carter-Finley Stadium for NC State, Florida State tonight, 8:00 kickoff. If you're out tailgating, pretty great night for tailgating. I wasn't sure if the rain was going to cooperate, but it appears as if it will. I'm not a meteorologist of any kind, so take that for what it's worth. But nice brisk football evening. This is actually some of my favorite weather to play in. Enough that if you're running and you're working, you can get a little sweat going, but at no point in time are you like, gosh, it's hot, right? Feels pretty good. So it's going to be a good night for football. Florida State, if you're looking for some keys to the game, I want to see how NC State's offense plays in the first quarter. They were, as I said, they were putting handcuffs by Miami's defense. And I I do think there's a good amount of it that was State not playing up to their expectations, right? C.J. Bailey not playing as well as we've seen him play. Obviously, not many holes in the run game. But I want to give Miami credit. Miami has some dudes. They've got, 2 edge rushers that are going to be top half of the first-round draft picks. They're number 13 team in the country for CFP, right? Their defense has some talent. So it wasn't just NC State not playing well. Part of it is they were forced to not play well by the opposing team. And you don't want to let that rattle any confidence. You don't want to get away from the things that you were doing so well against teams like Georgia Tech. So if NC State's offense plays well early, I think they can, I think of momentum, I don't believe has to carry from game to game, right? If you play bad last week, doesn't have to mean you're going to play that bad this week.
No.
But if you start off this game playing the way you finished last game or playing the way you played last game, I think your brain goes to, oh no, we didn't fix it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can rattle around your brain in a weird way. So if I'm Kurt Roper, like my first drive as a play caller, I'm talking about offensive coordinator Kurt Roper, I'm not setting things up, right? I'm not like, oh, we're going to make this call. We're going to make this this prediction, or not this prediction. We're going to make this play call in order to set up a play to get later, right? I'm calling the plays to make sure we have success early, to let everybody know last week was nothing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure they know that was a weird game. Miami was good. We're not playing them. This week is a different game.
It is a different game. And there's a lot at stake for both teams. Like you mentioned, for Carolina Duke, there's bowl eligibility on the line. For Florida State and NC State, there's bowl eligibility on the line tonight. Winner of this game becomes bowl eligible, which is a real thing. And I also wonder as well is that for Florida State in this sense is that with Mike Norvell, it's like, this might be the last time you see Mike Norvell in this stadium coaching Florida State. Again, I mean, like making, I don't know, maybe the decision's already been made in terms of Florida State about that in that direction. But I mean, Mike Norvell is also coaching for his job. Like there's a lot at stake, not just for this game and this season, but just for the future of both these teams. Like there's a real possibility that both these teams could have different coaches next year, but for a myriad of reasons, like whether it's retirement, firing, whatever it might be, you just never know.
Both coaches, Norvell and Doran, and I'm not saying this, to join the conversation on either side. They're used to the conversation.
Oh, 100%.
These two have been on that quote unquote hot seat, at least on like low seat warmer setting, for quite some time.
I mean, Dave's been hearing it for a while, like 5 years.
So
at least.
So for that reason, like I don't want to say they're comfortable with it because I don't think that's ever a comfortable conversation to have, but they're used to it, right? They know how to get prepared for a game when the fans are having certain conversations, invoking their name. And listen, just to point this out about Florida State is better than their record says. I'm not going to give them too much credit because you are what your record says you are. I know the cliche.
Yeah.
They've outgained all but one of their opponents. They've had more yards in every game except for one, and that's Pitt. They outgained Miami in a one-score loss. They've played some ranked opponents. They played Notre Dame much closer than NC State did. They've played some common
beat Alabama
opponents
to start the year
in different ways. That seems like it's in a weird funhouse
year.
But yes, they beat Alabama. So there's something there. You can't overlook this team. You can't say that they're not even Florida State of last year. Florida State of last year was a joke. This year they're a little bit better. And Tommy Castellanos, he's a dual threat quarterback. He can run, he can pass. I'm not saying he's the best at either, but if you leave an opening, he'll take advantage of it. So you got to be on your stuff. We know that State's defense has struggled at times this year, and if they do, like that's the way I'm going to put it. Last point on the Florida State. I don't want to pump them up too much. If you overlook them, they're good enough to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
that's the way I'll put it. So show up, give them your good stuff. You know what I mean? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Traditionally, we'd be going into a numbers game here, but when we're on location, that's not the way it goes. However, we still want interaction from you. So we're going to get some first goal scorer predictions, not on the phone lines, but you can give them to us in our YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. You can subscribe there, do all of that, but also jump in the live stream, comment who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period. So Canes first goal score predictions for tonight's game against Winnipeg. You can also send them to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports. I already have a tweet up asking for your first goal score predictions. You can just reply right there at Donnelly Sports, the place for that. We'll make our predictions. I'll pass along the predictions from our colleagues here at 99.9 The Fan, and we'll hear from some of you online. First goal score predictions and more getting ready for the Canes and NC State, Florida State coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Winnipeg.
It's a flick to the shoot, score! And the captain with the net front again.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7:30. Puck drop at 8.
Hall in on Swayman. Hall waits, and he scores! Taylor Hall with the beauty.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friend Dr. Lori Travers and Travers LASIK. I had the surgery more than a dozen years ago. One of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. And if you are a first responder, Travers LASIK would like to honor your service with a thank you. They are proudly honoring first responders with an exclusive deal for police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. Go to traverslasik.com or call 919-510-6830. See what you've been missing. Travers LASIK.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Healthcare is not a game. Neither is health insurance. Contract negotiations between WakeMed and United Healthcare are down to the wire. Our terms are clear. Play fair. Stick to the rules. Patient care is at risk. Whatever the outcome, WakeMed wants to be here for you with the care you deserve. Anything else just isn't in our playbook. Let United Healthcare hear from you. Learn more at wakemed.org.
Bailey's Fine Jewelry has been voted the best place to buy a watch. Well, did you know that Bailey's is also the best place to sell your watch? So if you're looking to sell your Rolex or to add a Rolex to your collection, Bailey's is the place to go. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, locally owned since 1948.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside Carter-Finley Stadium, Dennis and I, here on The Drive because the NC State Wolfpack are hosting Florida State at 8 o'clock tonight. Should be a fun one. Atmosphere rising and rising. We are, whatever that is, 2.5 hours. Is that what we're looking at? 2.5 hours away from the expected kickoff time, which means we are also 2.5 hours away from expected puck drop for the Carolina Hurricanes in Winnipeg tonight. They're on the road, not in the Lenovo Center, which is just steps from where we sit right here on the plaza. So with that being said, we have to get our first goal scorer predictions, which include those coming from you on our YouTube live stream comments and those coming from you onto our 99.9, onto Twitter at Donnelly Sports. At first, we have somebody grabbing a picture with us. Do you have a prediction for tonight, sir? Give us a prediction. Who wins and by how much? NC State? How many? Give us how much they win by. At least 10. All right, double-digit win for NC State coming from our guy right here taking a picture as we are outside of Carter-Finley Stadium. Similar to that, we need our first goal scorer predictions, right? Predictions are predictions. I'll give you the rundown of everybody at 99.9 The Fan, so we have them locked in with receipts. Paul Ihander tonight for Winnipeg, the host of Next Up every morning, every weekday morning here on 99.9 The Fan. Jackson Blake in the first, assist from Ehlers.
All right.
Max Gorn, who's producing this show, I believe he produced Adam Gold's show today.
He did,
and he is always the producer for Next
Iron
Up.
Man today.
Yeah, exactly. He's double, triple shifting. He has Ehlers in the second on a power play, but it's the first goal for either team, so he breaks the 0-0 tie in the second.
Oh, okay.
Adam Gold, hometown in the first, a power play, and then on top of that, he says it's the first of 3. And Jarvis ends with a hat trick.
Okay.
Victoria, the producer of the Adam Gold Show, Ehlers in the first against his old team, not in the first 10 minutes. Dennis, give us your first goal score prediction.
I'm going to go Andrei Svechnikov in the first period today because it's part of my if-then statement about how the Carolina Hurricanes win tonight is that the top line, Aho, Jarvis, Svech, they need to combine for 2 goals today. I think Andrei's I think he's been playing really well. Over the last about 10, 12 games, he's been playing and producing at an efficient level for this Canes team. I feel like this is one where he's going to take a cross-ice pass from Seth Jarvis, and he's going to bury one top shelf, make it 1-0. First period.
I advise, so for those of you that don't know, these first goal score predictions, and we will get to many of yours on online in a second here. First goal score predictions, the way we handle it with 99.9 The Fan personalities is the morning of games prior to the show, I walk around with a notepad, and I just take the first goal score predictions of Adam and Paul, and I grab them from everybody. And I advise against, wholeheartedly, last-second audibles.
Okay.
Because 2 or 3 times this year already, I think twice maybe Victoria alone, somebody has given me a pick. Actually, no. Switch it to so-and-so. And then their original pick ends up being right, and they get no credit for it in our little game here. I have written down on the notepad back at the office that I keep the totals on. Ehlers in the first, and I have it that it's the first of multiple goals because it's against his old team, and I want him to be aggressive. I think I'm going to break my own. I'm going to break my own rule. I'm not going with Ehlers.
You're not?
I'm not going with Ehlers.
Okay.
Because I don't have me to advise myself against it.
Right? All right. I mean,
Jalen Chatfield.
Going Chatty tonight.
Because when I made the Ehlers prediction, I didn't know that Jalen Chatfield was going to be in the lineup, and it looks like he is going to be in the lineup. He was activated off the IR, and they sent down Dominic Fensori, and it looks like Chatfield will be ready to roll. So, give me Jalen Chatfield in the first, and as I often call with the defenseman, from distance. I'm not sure it's going to be like the most impressive goal in the world, maybe just trying to get a puck on a net and through traffic, and it somehow makes it all the way into the net. Give me Jalen Chatfield in the first.
All right, well, Fletcher in our YouTube live chat said Chatfield as well.
All right,
so
Fletcher. I did not know that, but I like that we're on the same page.
Joseph Powell is actually with me, Svech in the first period, actually on the power play. And then also Zunit says Aho in the first period because he's due. Roddy says Jackson Blake stays hot. Blake first goal scorer midway through the first period as well.
So here's the deal.
Chase wants to know NC State field goal first score prediction. That's funny.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I did put on the Twitter request for first goal score predictions today. I usually add details or I'm looking for something else. Yeah. I put predict some other goals for fun if you want.
All right.
So we have some multiple goals. David went with he wants Jarvie to get it. He wants Ehlers to get it because it's a hometown boy and his first time back. However, he's picking Blake to stay hot, get a greasy goal. About 7 into the first. Assist from Miller. Eventually, 27 will also score, but 53 gets the goal. Kara says Carrier in the first from Martinook. Second period, Jarvis and Jankowski. Third period, Svech. Final score, 4-2. Ehlers, first goal scorer from Karen. Seth Jarvis gets the game winner, though. Rusty says Jarvis in the first and a second goal in the first. A second goal, Ehlers in the second. Then a third goal, empty net specialist Jarvis lights the lamp. A lot of Blake. It is. I always look at all these predictions and then look too far into what they mean. As you can hear the band coming by, NC State marching band. You know you're at a college football game when the NC State or when the college football marching band comes through. Let's go. Hey.
Yeah, look at that state marching band just rolling by. You know what? I don't even know what you're saying right now. They're so loud.
You know how great play-by-play guys, after a big play, they lay out and just let the crowd take it over?
Yeah.
I want to just be quiet and make sure we're enjoying the band. I'm not even sure if our microphone's picking it up. Something about a marching band, man.
College sports atmosphere is just unmatched.
It takes me right back to watching Rudy.
Right.
It's just everything that's good about college sports.
College sports atmosphere is awesome. The only thing that to me, and I've been to baseball games, soccer games, hockey, lacrosse. I've been, all football, NFL, college, you name it, college basketball. A college football atmosphere and a playoff hockey atmosphere, can't top it.
Yes.
You just can't top it.
And actually, just a couple minutes here, allow me to muse. No matter how many changes people say will ruin sports or ruin college sports, players are getting paid now, the transfer portal, coaches are making too much, the buyout money, the boosters. As long as when you're sitting outside the stadium, a couple hours before the game, the marching band still goes by and kids still run over to watch the marching band, it's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine.
Yep.
The magic of college sports is not in how much the quarterback is making. It's in the atmosphere around it. It's in the loyalty to your school. It's in the wearing your team colors, knowing the alma mater. That's what it's in. So, what am I? I'm 34 years old. Haven't played college football in over a decade. Here doing my job, and the marching band went by, and you put a smile on your face, right? That is the secret sauce, and I hope that continues forever and ever, right? I hope that never goes away, regardless of how much the inner workings change, right? And, people say there'll be a targeting call. Oh, you took the physicality out of the sport. It's ruined. I'm like, maybe it's a little bit safer, and maybe the marching band still goes by a couple hours before the game. It's going to be just fine. I love college sports, man. And we are, no joke, the Triangle, I say it all the time, but I mean it, the epicenter. We are the Mecca. You name the sport, you name the atmosphere. One within 45 minutes of where you are standing right now if you're listening to this on 9. Where do you get that? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's only one thing left to do from here outside Carter-Finley Stadium. Actually, there's a lot of stuff left to do. We got to go tailgate. We got to go watch a game. We got to go have some fun. But on air, there's only one thing left to do. We have to make some picks, and we're going to do just that coming up next right here on The Drive outside Carter-Finley Stadium.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube. Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've lost 42 pounds thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And right now, Raleigh Weight Loss Center is having a huge 20% off Lose It holiday sale starting Monday, November 24th, all the way through Black Friday, November 28th, with the lowest prices of the year on the amazing Raleigh Weight Loss Center program. They know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery. necessary and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. Start losing those unwanted pounds either before, during, or after the holidays. No more losing weight and gaining it back. This program resets your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. Schedule your free 15-minute phone consultation today to see if the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program is right for you, and mention the promo code LOSEIT for a discount. Call 919-897-7506, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Mention the promo Lose It. Results may vary.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It's the final days of Chevrolet truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford. Get behind the wheel of America's favorite truck with up to $11,500 off all remaining new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1500s. Includes Wilkinson discount, customer cash, bonus cash, Costco member incentive, and trade assistance. See dealer for complete details. Stop by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford today or shop online anytime at wilkinsoncars.com. Together, let's drive.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be located in North Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are and have been for the entirety of the show. Chilling outside Carter-Finley Stadium, getting ready for a pretty darn good college football game. NC State hosting Florida State in about 2 hours and 18 minutes. Opening kick. Same time for the Canes. Canes will be opening up in Winnipeg. 8 o'clock puck drop. You can hear that one right here on 99.9 The Fan.
So you can watch the football game.
You could be in the stadium and with the 99.9 The Fan app.
Listen to the game.
Listen
to the Canes.
Have headphones. I would say headphones just for the people around you. But you can listen to the Canes game and here's what
Share the love. Let everyone hear it.
Here's what I want to have happen. Here's my goal.
All right.
Right? Because I'm gonna stay and watch the game. I want when there is a Canes goal, I want the fans in Carter-Finley to cheer. I always think that's cool.
Yeah.
When like
that is kind of neat.
Like a baseball playoff game is going on in the fall, and that city's football team is playing, and when the football crowd cheers because somebody hit a home run in another city, but everybody's paying attention, I think that's always a cool deal.
I think it was a couple years ago. I think it was when Purdue got upset in the NCAA tournament, I think, as a 1 seed. I think
Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah, I think is what it was. Or there's some sort of like big upset in the NCAA tournament. I remember I was covering the games. I want to say it may have been at Greensboro.
Okay,
I
but
can
they
confirm
have during
that,
the
Dennis.
game.
I can confirm that I was there, and they were playing the end of the game up on the jumbotron.
Yes. Okay, Max. Yes. Okay, so Max, he was there. It was at Greensboro. So they were playing the end of the upset of Purdue. And they kept showing it. So at just random spots in the game, you just hear these loud cheers. It's like there's a guy just dribbling the ball up the floor in the game. But because everyone was reacting to all this potential upset and everything that was about to take place. So it was a lot of fun. Just, those kinds of moments. But it was a collective, hey, we're all experiencing this thing together. It was a lot of fun.
So maybe we'll have some of that tonight. You can listen, like we said, 99.9 The Fan to the Canes game and the 99.9 The Fan app. With that being said, with the last few minutes here we have on the drive, there's only one way to send us into the weekend. We do it every single week. We got to make some picks.
All right, let's go ahead and start off with tonight. I know we're here at Carter-Finley, but let's go to the team that plays right next door at the Lenovo Center. The Carolina Hurricanes, they're on the road at the Winnipeg Jets. Tim, what say you tonight, Canes prediction?
Actually, I have a fun fact here for you.
Oh, okay.
And shout out to Gary M. on Twitter. He has a Substack that he tags me in every single week about stats with the Canes and a whole bunch of stuff.
All right.
In the first 12 games, Carolina has allowed, in their last 12 games, Carolina has allowed 16 first-period goals and 16 in the second and third periods combined. Which does set them up for a lot of the games that we've seen, right? You fall behind 2 goals and then you storm back to tie it up or win it. But it does set up for more like, 4-3, 5-4 games.
Yeah.
Then, because if you're giving them up early and storming back. So, with that being said, 4-3 Canes. They get the win in Winnipeg.
Okay, 4-3 Canes. Max, what about you? Give me a Canes prediction here real fast.
I will take the Canes in kind of a grindy one, 3-1 with the empty netter.
3-1 with the empty netter. All right. So there it is tonight. All right, let's also go to the other. I'm also going to go high scoring game tonight. 5-3 Canes. 5-3 Canes win this one. All right, let's actually go to the game that's right here where we are at Carter-Finley Stadium. NC State, Florida State. Big college football game tonight. Winner gets bowl eligibility on the year. Tim, give me a prediction.
I did see State is like a 6.5 point, 7 point, depending on where you're looking, underdog in this one.
Okay.
Florida State favorite. And there's a Florida State fan screaming next to us, which is perfect timing for me to pick NC State to win the game.
Yeah, Florida State, 6.5 point favorites.
A home dog. I love a home dog. I love a home underdog. I think you take that disrespect, you try to win it outright, and you pay out your fans some cash that have the confidence to bet in you. A little bit extra payout. So I think it's a big bounce-back game for the offense for NC State. It needs to be. Those are your best players, and your best players have to show up in a game like this. So I'm thinking, my bold prediction was Hollywood Smothers a couple touchdowns. I think you need a big game from C.J. Bailey, Anderson, Jolie, right? Somebody in the pass-catching crew to make it happen. But so a high-scoring 7-point win for NC State.
Okay. Max, what say you?
Let's see. I had talked about this earlier on the Adam Gold Show. We're doing minute takes. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Florida State might be better, but both these teams are kind of Jekyll and Hyde. You never know what you're going to get.
Correct.
I'll say NC State walks it off on a field goal, 31-28.
Okay, 31-28, which is actually 31-28. That's 59 points. That's right there at the over-under. Is set at 59.5. All right, so I respect that. Give me actually. I'm going to take another high-scoring, like ugly, exciting, high-scoring type game, if that makes sense. Give me a 41-37 State win.
41-37 State. That's up there.
That makes sense. It just makes sense.
Hey, it's a Friday night. Entertain the people that want some football.
Hey, have some fun with it. All right, let's actually go to tomorrow's football game. It's a 3:30 kickoff. Duke at North Carolina. That is for the victory bell. Duke 6.5 point favorites on the road in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, I still think Duke is the more talented roster.
I agree.
UNC has done. They've worked wonders, like gaining ground from where they were. But I still think Duke has the more talented roster. I think it makes sense that they're favored. I do love a home dog, though. I do love a home dog. Unfortunately, I'm going against that here. I think it comes down to the quarterbacks, and I just have a lot more confidence in Darian Mensah to bounce back from a rough stretch for him than I do for Gio Lopez. So give me Duke. 6.5, 7, 8, probably a 10-point win is where I'm looking at it.
Okay, 10-point win. I think I'm with you on that one as well. Just Carolina, in my eyes, to win this game, they have to just make it an ugly defensive slugfest because their offense just simply can't keep up. If Duke gets to 24, Carolina ain't matching 24. Like they're just not. They're simply just not.
Unless their defense scores.
Which is potentially could happen. Give me Duke to win this one pretty comfortable, 31-14.
Okay.
31-14. I'll take Duke in this one. Max, real quick, Duke, Carolina, what do you have?
Tim said it. For me, it's all about the quarterbacks. I'm honestly pretty shocked at this point with less than 4 games left that Bryce Baker hasn't seen a single snap for Carolina. And Tommy Ashley from Inside Carolina said it earlier this week. We talked to him on Next Up. The Gio Lopez that they wanted to bring in from South Alabama is not the Gio Lopez that they have gotten this year. I think Mensah and the Duke offense is a little too explosive, so they'll win, again, I think pretty much going away like 38-17.
Okay. All right, another one here real quick. ACC game.
Yep.
It's a little bit off the radar, but it is a vital ACC game. 7-3 Pitt, 5-1 in the ACC. On the road at 9-1, Georgia Tech also one loss in the ACC at 6-1. If Georgia Tech wins this game, they're going to finish at least tied atop of the ACC, and they're going to play their way into the conference championship game. Where if Pitt wins this one, they're going to be sitting with their chance to be in the conference championship game. Pitt on the road at Georgia Tech. The Yellow Jackets, Georgia Tech, 2.5-point favorites at home.
This is less of a prediction and more of a wish, and I don't really, have a horse in the race, as they say. It better be Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I agree.
For the ACC's future,
I agree.
It better be Georgia Tech. They're 16th in the CFP rankings right now. Pitt is not in the rankings, but they are at least a good win. And Georgia Tech and Miami kind of have to just keep winning, so the ACC has a couple teams, top 15, top 12-ish, at the end of this, so that you can at least make arguments deserve to be in those conversations. So, Georgia Tech, Haynes King, hopefully he can put together one of those gritty, grimy Haynes King performances and get a win against Pitt, which, by the way, Mason, Heinschel, the freshman quarterback for Pitt that took over for Pitt, I believe, the state game. He's a pretty good freshman. So if he can put something together, Pitt might have something on their hands as far as the quarterback goes. But Georgia Tech being 10-1 going into that Georgia game and looking good against Georgia at the end of the year is really the only way the ACC can gain reputation points. Yeah,
Pitt's lone loss in the conference is to Louisville. And Louisville sitting there 4-3 in the ACC. So, this is a de facto playoff game, I guess you can say, for both of these teams. Give me Georgia Tech. I feel like Georgia Tech winning by 3 at home and with a Haynes King, 27-yard touchdown run makes sense. So give me Haynes King with a 27-yard touchdown run at the end of this game for Georgia Tech to win it 27-24.
Okay.
I'm going to take that one.
I like
All right, let's actually go to some other college football games this weekend. There's some, I guess you could say there's some important matchups across the college football landscape, I guess you could say. For example, we have a couple ranked teams that are playing each other, like Missouri taking on Oklahoma. Missouri 7-3. Oklahoma 8th in the college football playoff rankings, 8-2. Oklahoma at home 6.5-point favorites.
Bo Pribula? I don't know how to pronounce it. The quarterback for Missouri. I saw that he is trying to come back. I guess he's missed some time with an injury.
Yeah.
I don't think you beat Oklahoma without your quarterback. Oklahoma's defense, Brent Venables, has them playing well as of late. John Mateer, the quarterback that transferred from Washington State, where he was coached by Jake Dickert, and then when Jake Dickert left and the offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle went to Oklahoma, Mateer went with him. He hasn't been playing as well post-injury. He was really good early on, got hurt, missed some time, coming back hasn't been as good. They've been leaning on the defense there at Oklahoma. I guess I'll go. I think Oklahoma's the spot there. I think they're playing for a lot. They know what's on the table. Missouri with some questions at quarterback. Give me Oklahoma to win, and maybe a little lower scoring than you think, just because Mateer hasn't shown that he's ready to light it up yet.
All right, let's go to Sunday. Sunday action. We have Carolina Hurricanes, 1 o'clock puck drop. You can listen to that right here on 99.9 The Fan on Sunday, 1 o'clock. On the road, taking on the Sabres in Buffalo. Buffalo stinks. That's really it. That's all I got. That's the only analysis I could say on that one.
Fourth game of a road trip. Little exhaustion from the Canes. I think they maybe start slow, but get the win. I'm going to go with the exact same score I went for their game tonight. I'm going 4-3 Canes.
4-3. Matinee hockey games just get weird in general. They do. Matinee hockey games just get weird in general. Do not be surprised if there are a combined 12 power plays between these two teams, and it's a stupid high-scoring game. Give me 6-5 Canes on Sunday. I'm dead serious.
All right.
Games just get weird. Matinee games. All right, let's actually go to a couple NFL games before we say goodbye here and throw things to overdrive. Let's actually go with an important game in the NFL. 7-3 Chicago Bears, whom the Carolina Panthers are chasing, against the 6-4 Steelers. Bears at home, 2.5-point favorites.
Bears against the who?
Steelers.
I just did that because you're a Steelers fan. Okay. But also there was a Steelers jersey walking around here outside Carter-Finley Stadium.
Yeah, someone rocking a Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson jersey, who I saw online today, is on pace to break the all-time single-season tackles record for Pittsburgh, which I'm sure every State fan here will agree with me. I don't know how that guy fell at the end of the third round in the draft, but the Steelers benefit from everybody else being worried about his health. He's really good. The Bears, I think, are a little fugazi, a little fraudulent with their record. So I don't know if the Steelers are the strongest at their record either, and Aaron Rodgers is questionable. If Rodgers plays, I think the Steelers win. If he doesn't, I think the Bears win. So, well, I guess I'll go Steelers. Go Peyton Wilson.
Final one here, 20 seconds. The L.A. Rams, Sunday Night Football, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rams at home, 7-point favorites.
I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL this year. Give me the Rams. Matt Stafford, beast. That's going to do it for us here outside of Carter-Finley Stadium. Overdrive's coming up next with some of our conversations from earlier. Canes tonight here on 99.9 The Fan. Wolfpack, Florida State right to our left. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Brady and Belichick missed the playoffs once in Tom Brady's first season as a full-time